a woman. That's what I do. So it's kind of like that. That's the psychology. Is I've not changed horses in the middle of the stream. I've not done anything about something else. But it's unlimited. I mean, which it shows their one-dimensional attack because they're not thinking. Does that make sense, Nick?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it does. And we appreciate that. So, but if you want to go to people on the panel, I'd recommend maybe letting Dustin Stockton jump in. I know, Dustin, you've been...
get him on, and I'm not being rude. I got to take a piss. So you guys, Nick, you talk for a minute. You guys talk for like 2 minutes.
Sure. All right, go for it, Dustin.
Well, I want to elaborate on something that Viva said, which is this is all about the election. This is all about the lawfare. This is their fucking playbook, right? The entire goal is to disrupt what we would normally be doing, right? I've been listening to Alex since he first went to Bohemian Grove, like way back in the day, and the entire, the process is the plan, which is instead of covering the Hunter Biden trial and the Trump convictions and everything else that's going on, they're tying up Alex, they're tying up Steve Bannon, they're tying up anybody who has the courage to speak out against their bullshit. And I was really moved by what Liz said. Like, we all have to band together to amplify the voices that they are trying to silence. Like, this is a fundamental attack, not just on free speech, but on all of our freedom. And if you think that they won't come to silence you, that you won't be debanked, that they won't send these fucking lawyers out to wreck your life and to knock you off course, then you've got another thing coming. The communists, the Bolsheviks, their weapons of authoritarianism always get pointed to you. So I'll be taking my team to Hunter Biden's trial this week. I will continue to speak until, I'm sure it's came before the 2020 election. Here we are, right before the next election, and it's the same lawfare tactic being implemented by the same fucking scum.
Dustin, Hunter Biden due in court Monday. Are they allowing live coverage, or do you have to just report after you leave the courtroom?
So we are still. To be honest, I'm not sure. I have a press badge. I have a couple press badges. I'm rolling deep. We're going to have a mobile billboard. I've got 2 video crews with me. And I'm guessing probably about 50 activists.
Okay.
And so we're going to bring as much.
And by the way, that's what's scaring the establishment is the human potential is being unleashed, man. This wave is not even begun.
Well, and Alex, I just want to tell you, man, like, we stand with you. Like, continue to fight, continue to speak out, and continue to keep your eye on the prize. All of this bullshit, all of this internal bullshit, it's all designed to knock you off course and to stop providing people with the voice that you've provided us for decades. And so, we stand with you. We will continue to fight for you and amplify. If there's anything that we can do, you just have to ask, and we will rally.
Well, I appreciate you. Just take this live feed at Real Hog Jones right now and repost it, because I'm putting it all on the line here. I love this crew. I love this operation. I don't want to restart, but I can't not back down. These people are like cowards. They're just so pathetic. They think we're stupid, and I don't know what their problem is. They just don't stop, and they're like minions. They love the system. Thank you so much. Who else is up next?
Yeah, and so, we have other people on the platform that are trying to
this could be the last broadcast. I mean, they're literally, last night and tonight, they're like, we're going to shut it down. We're going to padlock it. And their own lawyers are like, we can't do that legally. But it's all going to go down. It's all happening right now.
Test 1, 2.
Yeah, and so, but we're not going to let that happen. We're going to we have a lot of people here supporting you, Alex. You have other big creators that are benefiting from the freedom of speech that X in particular gives, and Rumble and such, and like somebody like Diligent Denizen, who we have up here on stage as well. Diligent, jump in.
Yeah, man, I think that what we saw was the flag, right? The go flag for them to start implementing all of the levers of power against dissent that they have. When Donald Trump,
the enemy assault has begun. They've been given green light, attack. You're dead on. Go ahead.
Yeah. As soon as Donald Trump was convicted and they said, okay, there's not people protesting.
By the way, that's all over the news today. They say we're going to outlaw Trump supporters. That's in the news everywhere. We're going to outlaw them now. It's about you're convicted. You're a criminal.
Yeah. And by the way, this is the trend that we've gone through here at InfoWars over the years, where it's like if somebody sues Alex or somebody sues InfoWars, it becomes like chum in the water. And unfortunately, I get mixed up in this crap too. So it's like somebody will sue InfoWars, somebody sue Alex, and then there'll be like 4 or 5 other lawsuits that show up. And it's mostly just frivolous. It gets tossed out. But it's like chum in the water. So it's like, oh, we got Trump. That's like the chum in the water. And now it's like, oh, okay, everybody hop on. Everybody do what you got to do. Do your evil.
Well, look, they're trying to get Samuel Alito forcibly recused. Jamie Raskin said the DOJ should force Supreme Court Justices Thomas and Alito to recuse themselves in Alito's case because he flew a flag that George Washington once flew.
That was at the San Francisco City Hall and has flown everywhere.
It is totally normal. I mean, they are setting the groundwork.
But that's the executive trying to take over the judicial. Exactly. That's a coup. Sorry, go ahead.
It's the destruction of the 3 branches of the government. The checks and balances are basically abolished at this point. The DOJ and the executive branch operates completely without congressional oversight. The FBI, the CIA, the Congress will demand something from them. They refuse it. Nothing's done. That means our representatives don't have any power. That means we aren't able to vote.
But the good news is it's out of the open now. We've drugged the CIA out.
Yep. And I'm glad you bring up the CIA, because that's another issue we have in Congress, where they get up and they have these hearings with the FBI or the CIA, and it's like they've somehow forgotten their role here. The CIA, the FBI, they are under you.
Right.
They are under you. You run the show. And there's this weird thing of, oh no, the FBI runs the DC government now. Oh no, the CIA runs the government now. That's not the correct flow of power.
That is the actual.
On CNN, they're like, don't worry, the CIA runs things. So they've gone from denying, like, don't worry, the CIA.
New York Times, it turns out the deep state exists and it's great.
It's full of patriots. It's absurd. That's what they say.
But the good news is we forced them out in the open.
Well, and that's the process. Like, obviously, it's not new that the spy state has been running things. They've been doing it for decades. That's the process. They want everybody to get used to that. They want everybody to acknowledge that, hey, this whole democracy thing, it doesn't work out. We got Joe Biden as a result.
And they don't want to give us
let's not do
vacations and swimming pools and freedom. They want to cut our sons' dicks off. It's like, dude, no, man, we're not with you.
It's obscene.
Well, they want to cut their own children's wee-wees off. But, this is a realization I've had, too, because it's kind of been a conservative talking point recently that, oh, well, conservatives will procreate and we'll inherit the earth and our children will inherit the earth. We're 2 decades behind. The liberals conquered the education system 20 years ago. They're indoctrinating your kids. So they already got out ahead of you. You're just realizing it now. Oh, wow. We got to have kids and we got to not send them to the public schools. They've indoctrinated the kids. Look at what happened to these college students. Look at what happens now to the younger grades. So there's been a kind of an awakening with that too.
Stop over accentuating our victories and realize we are gaining, but we're still down.
There's that famous video.
Yeah, the choir of San Francisco. We're going to indoctrinate your kids. We're going to screw them. Who's the next person?
All right, let's go next to, let's give Bill Elmore the floor. I always love hearing from Bill. Bill's a major host as well. Bill, what do you have to say? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. There's no way they're going to shut you down. I mean, they may shut this down, but you've got so many folks here on X, on Rumble. We will all broadcast, we'll host, we'll co-host, until you find your next, whatever it is. There's no way they're going to shut you down. They're trying to hide, and I'll just echo what Diligent said, right? They're just chum in the water, and they're doing so many things in the background. It's like the news cycle is crazy right now. Geneva, the World Health Organization, is approving IHR to give away our sovereignty for our healthcare, right? All this stuff's happening at the same time. They're firing on all cannons, and we've got to stand up and we've got to say, hell no, we're not going to comply. We're not going to put up with it, and we're definitely not going to be shut up.
No, I agree. As long as we join the fight, we're going to win.
Well, the World Health Organization actually took a major loss, and they're kind of having to re-scramble the deck now because they did not get approval for their global pandemic treaty. They totally failed, and Tedros has egg on his face now. So they're trying to re-scramble the deck. I don't know if there's been some other new development since.
Well, they're going to try to bring it back, but no, he said last week we're screwed.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if Bill has some new news that how they're re-scrambling the deck, but they failed on their global pandemic treaty. But they said
they're going to play possum. Can we give up? And then try it again.
Or just release another virus and then say, see,
which God, bird flu is going to get us. Yeah.
It's a smokescreen, guys. It's a smokescreen because they work through around the clock through the weekend. Because when you face your enemy head on and you win, they go underground, and that's what they did. They just went underground and they said, okay, we're going to do, and Tedros, I have him on video, we're going to do whatever it takes. We're still going to do this, right? So I've been hosting spaces with Dr. Kat Lindley. And
no, I agree. When they play possum, it's key to realize they're coming right back. It's a constant battle.
There's no way. They didn't even skip a beat, and they are continuing what they want to do. And you talk about the next, they're out there saying disease X. Now they've said disease X is H5N1, the next bird flu, right? They're pushing that. They're going to try to use that as fear tactic to get more power. They're not giving up, and we got to keep fighting.
No, I agree with you. Thank you for the spacious comment. I just want to point out, I slept here last night, and I knew today when I exposed stuff earlier, it's now been posted on X, they would try to shut us down. The law came into play and they said, we cannot do that without a court order, but they are trying to close the doors here right now. They're that dumb. And so that's where we are. And if the people out there think doing that will stop anything coming out, you're really stupider than I thought. Because this operation is our studio. This is where we do the show. This is not how the show gets out.
Well, it's kind of like with Trump. He got $50 million plus in small donations.
It's now 60.
Yeah, well, in the first 24 hours, it was 50. So I guess it's probably, who knows where it's
I think it's 80 now.
Yeah. So 24 hours is a record. Small donations, 50 million.
Broke the website.
Yeah.
How did they not learn from
the
that?
point is, we're fighting back. That's the point. Like, it's not a one-way street, guys. Like, you want to try to set us up, put us in jail. Okay, well, we're going to speak out against you. Nick Sordor, anybody else? Who should we go to? Or Chase Geyser?
Okay, let's go to, I want to go to Mike Smith. Sorry, Nick, for that confusion there. Mike Smith, go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you got to say. You requested to speak some time ago. You're still with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Otherwise, let's bounce to Nick. Okay, go ahead.
No. Hey, thank you for having me, Alex. Thank you for everything you've done over the years. I would not be awake and I would not be doing what I'm doing if it wouldn't have been for InfoWars years ago. So this attack that's happening on our country and our president is the flag drop. This is the green light. They are coming full blown after us and after free speech. I know you don't know who I am, Alex, but I've been censored. And I worked in Hollywood for 30 years, and I made a film called Out of Shadows. It got over 100 million views, and it got me kicked off of pretty much every social media platform there was. And now I've been fortunate enough to be back on X. And I just want to thank you for the long fight that you've put on. You're a big part of my awakening, and I'm here to support you in any way I can. And I think we have to support each other because it's now or never, really, until November. And I just want to say thank you. And thank you for letting me speak. I'll stick around a little bit. But Bill, Nick, Liz, all you guys, diligent. I mean, I see so many people in here that I follow and I'm fans of, and that have been motivational for me and have made me research more and stay in this fight, because believe me, it gets tiring, it gets old. But they have
But the alternative of totally submitting is way worse. Like Steve Bannon just texted me, what can he do? I'm trying to get him on right now. I mean, this is epic. They literally yesterday were going to lock the doors and shut the company down and just gaslit. Oh, it's just 2 weeks. You go away. It's okay. I said, no, I'm going to stay on here. This is BS. And then today they gave the orders again, and then the lawyers all met and said, oh, well, we can't do that. I mean, there's no court order. But that's how desperate they are out of the clear blue sky, because, again, the conviction of Trump was their assault. That was their like, boom. That is, it's like Mordor is assaulting right now. I mean, this is going on right now. I mean, I'm just telling you. And folks, I don't sit here and hype stuff. The fact that God keeps coming through, we keep hanging on. I think you're probably going to get proven for you very soon. We'll probably be shut down soon. I hope not, but I swear on my children, like Godfather says, and the great Godfather, he says, "On the souls of my grandchildren, I will not be the one to break the peace." This is going on, people. I don't cry wolf, okay? I'm hard to kill.
Well, Alex,
so it's kind of gets like, well, Jones is still there. He's like, because you held me up, and I'm barely hanging on by my fingernails.
That's a frustrating thing is we survive these attacks and people go, the attack must not have been real. It's like, no, we're sitting here bleeding out, but we've survived. And somehow people think that's fake. I remember probably the first month I worked here because I got hired as a cameraman. And I was going around with you and Roger Stone. And I thought it was so cool because we were filming in downtown Austin. We went to some steakhouse and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm in a room with Alex Jones and Roger Stone. Like, this is crazy. I'm hearing the inside baseball and I'm like trying to remember everything. So I'm like, this is a once a lifetime. And then the next day you guys go on air and say all the same stuff that you said at dinner the night before. So I'm like, oh, I didn't hear anything secret. I wasn't privy to any secret, information, because everything that you do, you just do publicly. And people can't comprehend that. They think there's gotta be something hidden. If he's saying this, really something else is going on. And it's like, how about the truth is just...
No, the power is real.
You say it in public, and that's the truth. It's amazing.
Well, Alex, I
You mean the fake meat doesn't sell well?
Fake meat doesn't sell well.
Fake meat at the grocery store shelves is...
Were you there when I helicoptered him the meat? They got like 10 million.
Hey, oh, yeah. That was a crazy time. We were still on YouTube, and we'd be walking down the street in Austin, Texas, filming a live video, running into people watching the live video on their phone, looking up and going, "Hey, I'm watching you guys right now." I mean, we were everywhere. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was 35 million a day conservative.
It was incredible.
Like, not derivatives, not like clips, like 35 million a day on the show.
It was
biggest show ever.
Oh, it was
which is great because we've won the fucking Indy 500. We've been number one, which it wasn't about, but the truth was key. But then it was taken out of the race. It's like, we know we'll win the race, so I've already won. It's like,
that's a great analogy. Because I remember, it was the Alex Jones show was 100,000 a day on the live stream, easy. I could upload any video. We did million views overnight.
You're really watering this down. When you had videos with 50 million views, so did Paul Watson. He had one with like 100 million views.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. Like I'm like, oh, there's 50 million, 20 million, 30 million. I couldn't even keep track of them every day.
It's like, there's the rumors that, the NBA made Michael Jordan retire or whatever. I don't believe that. But that's kind of like, we were forced out of the game. It was like, we were too good. We were the perennial champs. So they said, you got to.
You exposed Age Skrillex to them.
We're uploading that to my X account probably tonight or tomorrow. We're going to upload the entire full Age Skrillex original exchange. Hundreds of millions of views.
And again, we're not trying to brag, folks, but people want freedom. So we've already, like Muhammad Ali, everybody, we've already, literally, it's insane. It's like, so it doesn't feel bad when you get taken out of the game because you just win too much.
There it is. We're going to put that full video up on my X account.
Hold on, let's play it. You get the audio going.
Yeah.
This thing's probably got 500 million views. That's a conservative number. Here is what they don't want you to see. Here's Owen Shroyer. Here it is.
Donald Trump wants to obey the laws on immigration. Donald Trump wants to obey. This country was founded on immigration.
You're a fucking white male.
Illegally. A wall. Mexico has a wall on their southern border. Is that racist?
Y'all racist. Since 2016, not 1916. The good old white days are over with. The good old white days are over with. Ain't no more of them days, bro. It's over.
That's not racist.
No,
I'm racist, though. I'm racist. That's not racist. I'm racist.
Hell no, it's not racist.
You've never experienced oppression in your entire life. Neither have I. Know me. You're a white male. Not remind you of that.
There it is.
No, explain to me how Trump is like Hitler.
Are you kidding me? It's classic. Really? And that really is why they hate InfoWars. I don't think they would care as much if we just talked about stuff. It's the fact that you both took it to the streets and actually became activists in addition to just talking about it.
We just keep nailing it, not because anybody can do this. And that's what they don't want, is that I was telling everybody, you could do this.
Yeah.
I was telling the listeners, hey, I want you to join America. I'm like Uncle Sam, like, I want you. And they're like, whoa, like callers call, oh, thanks for taking my call. Like, thanks for calling. Like, oh, thank you, Alex, for coming to an event. What, thank you for standing up for my fucking future? Stop thinking about this as like some exclusive cult. It ain't, man. It's freedom.
Well, and now too, I've virtually, and I kind of make the analogy. I'm basically a prisoner of war under my federal probation.
But you're a fucking white male.
I can't do anything as a fucking white male, But the point is, okay, so I'm kind of out of the field. If I can't really go out, if I get arrested, I'm gone. You're not going to hear me for a year, so I'm playing it safe, whatever. But that's fine. We got Shaney Rich out there talking to people, exposing the libs on the street. You got Fleckus Talks out there.
Exactly. I don't get jealous when I see badass people. I go, oh, yeah. Oh, my God. So when I meet like an activist comes to the show, they're like, oh, God, Alex Jones, you're a legend. I'm like, no, you are a legend. Because I had Charlton Heston literally telling me, go take action, you're a leader, blah, blah, blah. I want to be like him. Like he understood stuff. I'm like talking about the future, like, oh no, you're special, not me. Because it's giving all these people, black people, white people, it's beautiful.
And that's what they hate, though. Because that's why they play this game of racial division and identity politics. That's why they get so pissed. Joe Biden says, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. Like, oh.
Well, let's get back. Here's the deal, guys. The reason we're here on Saturday night, your family's here, Chase's family's here. We've all got family. My wife's like, we were supposed to, go out to the park today and go eat dinner. This could be the final show. I mean, literally yesterday they were going to padlock the doors. Then they gave the orders again today, and their own people wouldn't follow them. So I'll try to come back tomorrow at 4 p.m. I don't know, but it's kind of like, wow, this place is special. By the way, when this show's over, we should walk around and shoot a video of the tour and just talk about the issue for 5 minutes, because this is be our last time here. I mean, I've got to get my family books out of here.
I'll probably do that. Actually, I'm probably going to do that in 20 minutes. Is what I'm going to do. I'm going to.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like because I've got books I have when I was a kid here. I got to get my stuff out, man. It's just a good chance this place ain't here. And everybody's like, oh yeah, right, this is a fucking stunt. I don't pull stunts, man. I pull revolutions. Okay. You can bet your bottom fucking dollar, dude. I don't fucking lie to you, okay? Chase Geyser, I see a nod in your head. What do you want to say?
Well, I was just nodding my head because I was agreeing with what you said. And I've been here for a year. I've been listening to you, Alex, since 2021. Basically, after January 6th, I started listening to InfoWars because I lost all faith in traditional media. And I didn't know what to expect when I got here. I didn't know if you were going to be different off air than you are on air. And people ask me that question all the time when I mean, what's Alex like off air? Is he chill? Is he totally different? And I tell them that you're even more intense off air. The first time you walked into my office, Alex, it's crazy what they're doing out there. They're trying to tear everything. I mean, it was like a broadcast one-on-one in my closet office on the other side when I first started here. And I tell people that off air, you're like Alex Jones at 11, right? And I tell people that you tell the truth, but you take it to 11. And you're the real deal, man. That was what I was nodding as you were saying that.
Second Spinal Tap, Alex. You're the 13.
But that's all that matters is being real. Like, why are these people fake? He goes, could you just make it 10? He goes, but it's 11.
Can't you just make it 11?
So this could be the last show. I feel like I should just stay here all night. I mean, I'm serious, folks. This is so fucked up. I mean, this is so fucked up. It's just like such a fucking people. It's like, they're such scum too. They gaslight. We're not doing anything to you. Nothing's happening. Don't be upset. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. You want fucking war? You got it. So, who else is next?
Let's go to Drew Hernandez. Drew Hernandez is obviously an InfoWars veteran, and he's joined the space. He's had his hand raised. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Drew. Say what you have to say, man.
Hey, what's going on? Alex, crew there at InfoWars. I know we're speaking to the world right now, but I want people to really, really zero in their mind, really zero in their heart, their spirit. Christ is king regardless. And the number one mistake that tyrants have always made, and they seem to not learn from, and maybe it's like a generational thing that these globalists and these...
It's satanic, Drew. You know that. It's satanic.
Yeah,
they're blind.
These satanic psychopaths fail to recognize is the moment you begin to make a martyr out of a movement, out of a man, out of an entity, out of an idea, is the moment that idea, man, or entity explodes and it spreads across the entire world. So what they've done to Trump, this is all happening within the same week. What they've done to Trump, this is a huge coup. It's a huge sweep. InfoWars is tied up into it because we all know, and Alex, I know that you try to be humble about this, but all the InfoWarriors are going to agree with me. InfoWars was the tip of the spear of getting Donald J. Trump elected in 2016. We all know it. We all witnessed it. We all saw it. And then the deep state confirmed it. Even Google made that very clear that you guys were the reason. And that transcends the man Alex Jones. That transcends the man Donald J. Trump. That transcends the man Owen Schroyer, that transcends the man Harrison Smith. It goes beyond individuals and people. And I'm speaking to normies directly right now, because if you are sitting at home and you are watching this and you are experiencing this and you think for 1 second that this cannot ever be you, I don't want to be controversial. I'm going to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to be milquetoast. I'm really not going to have an opinion. I'll just go along. I'll go with the flow. I will not, be a type of individual that will be considered right wing or alt right, because I'm just gonna obey and go along with what they tell me to do. That's not how it works. That's not how it ever has worked. Because at some point in your life, there will be something you disagree with these people. And it's not about being ideologically lined up with the regime. It's about being totally in obedience and submission for the rest of your entire life, regardless of what they tell you, regardless of what they say to believe. If you are not willing to deny reality when they tell you to deny reality, well, that's when you end up in the scope, in the crosshairs, and you will be annihilated.
No, I totally agree. And that's what my uncle that was in Iran-Contra as a commander told me. He said he did all this stuff believing he was countering evil. He was being evil to counter evil. He said at a certain point, it got so evil. It was trafficking kids out of Guatemala. He was involved, but he knew about it. He ran the airfields. He said you will reach a point where you make a decision. I'm gonna come right back to you, but I asked Steve Bannon to call in. We need to go to him. I'll come back to you, Drew Hernandez. He's a great pastor, great talk show host. Steve, you sent me a message. I appreciate you reaching out. Yeah, they tried to lock the building up last night. I literally confronted the security that's part of my company and said, the law says this, you have to have an order. They're trying to even shut it down tonight. And I see this all as the desperation of the deep state of what's going on. We're a solvent company. We have plenty of money. We're in a federal court separately. The court appointed is trying to shut us down right now. Steve, you're a really smart guy. You're under a massive attack yourself. You don't make a big deal about it. But I mean, I just see this as an indicator of the enemy has launched the major assault. We're seeing it everywhere. The conviction of Trump, the show trial was their charge call. And I think you probably agree with me, but the people need to know this is it. It's going down right now.
Well, I think Drew was 100% correct. I mean, look at the role you played in 2016. The deep state absolutely knows the power of InfoWars, the power of your team, the power of you personally as a personal example. So it doesn't surprise me at all. They just moved on President Trump, and, they're going to try to imprison President Trump. There's no, or at least put him under house arrest so he can't campaign. So now they're just going to knock down. I mean, to them, this is the last scene in Godfather 1. They're going to move on everybody. They're definitely they if they don't shut down InfoWars, if they don't shut you down, they're not going to win, and they know that, and they're playing smash mouth. This is why you have the controlled opposition Republican Party that won't do anything about it. Look, Megyn Kelly, I saw it best. We have to go Old Testament on. We have to start throwing subpoenas out. We have to start arresting people, right? We have to do it. You obviously, you have to have charges, but we got the receipts. That's why the House right now, and Chip Roy, who's no radical, Chip Roy's calling for Southern governors to arrest Mayorkas and Biden. This is where we are right now. And obviously, they're going to move on InfoWars. That's why you've got to protect, however you protect this operation, this franchise, and your ability to communicate is a high order, and we're all in for any assistance at War Room. And I know Jack Posobiec and Charlie Kirk, the people that know and admire you, got your back, and we need marching orders.
Well, brother, you're smarter than I am. It's full on assault. And good news was I caught them trying to set me up. I recorded them. I don't normally do that, and I got their ass. I got them. But this, to me, it's bigger than Alex Jones. It's the focal group of this big audience, your audience. I want listeners to know this is the big assault. You're right. I mean, people need to know this is it. And giving into this is the end of America, the end of freedom. I mean, we have got to be full on supporting the War Room, supporting what you're doing, everything we're doing. So, Steve, a lot of time, I didn't want to make it about us, but when I leave here tonight, they are literally trying to padlock the doors. I slept here last night, and this is all going on, and it's so surreal.
Well, we ought to get some volunteers. I mean, make some calls. We'll get some volunteers down near your studio and have other people go down and stay there tonight so they can't padlock the doors. I mean, you're essential. Look, when you have people like Megyn Kelly and Chip Roy, who are not exactly radical, saying, hey, things have to change. Chip Roy saying Southern governors and attorney generals ought to start arresting Mayorkas and Garland. And Megyn Kelly saying go Old Testament. This is the time of trying right now. This is the
no, and I agree with Steve. It's not like they have fake charges against Trump. We have fentanyl and MS-13 and government mafia and child trafficking. I mean, the Democrats are wide open. If the attorney generals and governors, you're right, speak to that. If is a great example, they try to put him in jail. Ken Paxton, he's the archetype. If we just get behind Ken Paxton, go ahead.
The folks in Texas know this. They initiated an invasion of the southern border, child trafficking on the southern border, working with the Chinese Communist Party for the second opium war, for fentanyl, losing more people in a year than we lost in all of Vietnam. These are high crimes and misdemeanors, these receipts are right there. Chip Roy called for Southern governors and attorney generals and people like Ken Paxton and the Attorney General of Florida and others to start doing some arrest. And by the way, color inside the lines, because there's plenty of information out there. You saw the backflips they went to get President Trump, which is a completely ludicrous.
And Steve, can you imagine the backing governors and attorney generals are going to have when they do this? It's going to be incredible. We need the authority of the states now. You're right, to do this now. So what do you advise? Because a lot of people are watching, attorney generals listen to you. What should they do, Steve?
I think you got to flood the zone with calls, whether from Georgia, Florida, Texas. Those right there you got the Fonnie Willis situation. You got this bogus situation down in the southern in South Florida. You've got Texas and the invasion. I mean, hey, by the way, other southern governors, because remember, every state's a border state, every town's a border town. You got fentanyl, you got all of it. It's time, and they can't hide behind, oh, well, this and that. It doesn't work anymore. The finding Trump guilty on Thursday changed everything. That is a bright dividing line in American history, and we have to go on offense. You have to go on offense.
I agree, but let's talk about offense, Steve Bannon. Let's talk about offense, but also the enemy now. They've crossed the Rubicon. They're going all out. What do you expect them to do? What do we do?
I think what they're going to do is things like yours. They're going to use the bankruptcy law. They're going to use FCC. They'll use everything to start shutting people down. There's no doubt about it. They're going to try to shut people down. They're going to try to. They're bankrupt. Look in the bankruptcy laws right now. You've got Rudy tied up. You got half a dozen O'Keefe. You got a half a dozen people that are coming after to try to shut down. Look at Mike Lindell. Every voice that stood up on the right, they're trying to shut down. They understand it's Trump, and they got to get that second concentric ring around Trump. Everybody from Roger Stone to Mike Lindell, and they're coming and they're rolling hard. By the way, if you and I were on their side with the momentum they've got, we'd roll hard too. You see exactly what they're doing. That there's no doubt whether they cannot lose this election. If they lose this election with the crimes that they've committed. And the smart people we have that are going to come in the second term in the Justice Department and in the White House counsel's office, these people all be in prison. They understand that. That's what they got to put on July 11th. Why do you think they schedule this thing for 1 week before he takes the stage in front of the world?
I totally agree. They admit Trump's going to arrest him because they deserve to be arrested. If he had dereliction of duty, he didn't. We're not out for retribution, but this is a coup. They are extremely weak.
No, we would know. The good news is that Chip Roy called it. It's just using the rule of law. That's why these Republican AGs, it's state color inside the lines. There's plenty of receipts about their criminality. It's up in your face about their criminality. Look how Abbott, as much as he's been accommodating of the criminality of what they're doing on the southern border, their criminality is there for everyone to see. There's more than enough receipts. All you have to do is enforce the rule of law. That's all you need to do. If you do your job and enforce the rule of law, these people are criminals, and that's why they're moving so hard. Look at the thing on Trump is so ridiculous, and now they're going to say they're going to put Trump in prison. They're going to give him give him his sentence 1 week before he's about to take the world stage in front of the world as Republican nominee. There's nothing these demons won't do to win, and now people have to awaken. We need a great awakening of people in positions of authority to adjudicate this, to use the apparatuses you have, to use the institutions you have, and to respect those institutions and do what the revolutionary generation did in this country.
I totally agree. America's not what's bad. The country is hijacked.
The country's hijacked by a bunch of demons. That's all you have to do is do what the revolutionary generation did. It's stand up to tyranny. They stood up to the worthless landless aristocracy and the monopolistic power of the crown and the British East India Company, these monopolistic companies. Exact same thing today. You have the exact same tyranny, but we have the receipts on our side. We have the evidence on our side. Their crimes are manifest. It's just who has the political will and the stones and the courage to stand up to it. Because,
Steve, I totally respect you. Steve Bannon is here of the War Room. Let me ask you, Steve, then to interrupt you. They could literally lock this up the next few days. What is your advice to InfoWars and our crew? You say you'll send crew out here?
Your crew right now, if you can't move to go someplace and do a pirate version of this, then let's get people down there and surround the building. Make them come through a chain of patriots. Get people inside.
That's what I'm going to do. Our location's been somewhat secret, but I agree with you. We need to surround the building and just make a big issue out of this,
and expose them. Say, hey, get your lawyers down there, get your comms people down there. Let's get the TV cameras. These are cockroaches. They can't. You put the cameras on them. What are they going to do? You have a chain of people outside to defend Alex Jones peacefully. What are they going to do? Put the cameras on them. Expose them. Let's see who they are. Let's see what agencies they're coming from, what their orders are, and who gave them the orders.
So, Steve, let's extrapolate this out the time you have. I'm not that important. I'm just, like you said, they're bombing any Trump support in their takeover. This signifies panic, the full-on assault. What do you expect the deep state to do next?
No. I disagree. InfoWars is at the top of the pyramid. You're relentless. First off, the scale of your programming, the depth of your programming, the talent that you've had and you've been able to nurture, not just the audience, your audience are force multipliers. You don't have this is not Fox News in the evening, right? Just a bunch of passive 70-year-olds. You have an activist audience. You're one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful brand and apparatus out there. Certainly they're going to come for you. It makes, by the way, from their perspective, it makes sense to come for you. That's why it's got to be protected.
So what do we do?
Well, I think one thing is let's find out who's down the area and peacefully assemble and help you and sleep inside. I would have a 24-hour watch right now. If you're saying they're trying to padlock your building, if you're saying they're waiting for you guys to leave to basically seize your equipment, I'd get your lawyers down there. I'd get the cameras down there. I'd get your people down there. I'd start to bunk out. I'd go to the mattress, as they say in the business.
That's
right?
exactly what we're doing. We're doing that right now. It's insane. It's just crazy. This will blow up in their face. Why would they even try this? They're nuts.
They'll try this because they figure if they catch you not on guard.
No, you're right. They were going to sneak it. They were going to sneak it, and I found out yesterday. You're right. They were going to do it. Yeah, they want to sneak it.
Alex, if they shut down InfoWars, the struggle we have to win this is infinitely harder. Hernandez, Drew said it perfectly before I came on. At 16, you were an absolutely foundational element of it. And in all likelihood, it might not have happened if you hadn't been hammering every single day. That's a big trick. You're the equivalent in this movement of what NBC News used to be in the old days, or CBS News. You know, this is you're at that level of power. Not just you, the team that you built, the programming you have, the committed audience, and not just audience, but activists. They're prepared to act upon your word, and that's why it's got to be protected. So I would go to the mattresses peacefully. You got the right on your side. Get your lawyers down there. Get people in there. Start getting the coffee. You know, get some coffee brewing, and tell them, hey, you're on watch. It's like a Navy destroyer. There's going to be 24/7. The building's always going to be secured with your people.
God bless you, Steve. Tell people about your show, warroom.org, how they find all the great work you're doing.
It's just warroom.org. Again, we were online. Grace Chung, Mo, everybody. Hey, not just our prayers. You tell me. I'm going to talk to you after this. Anything you need from the War Room or the War Room posse that we need to deploy down there, you tell us, Alex. You will go all in on this thing. You just let me know.
Steve, thank you. It means so much to me. I know your listeners are the best. We get an amazing response from them. We love you so much. And we're all in this together. Thank you, Steve Bannon.
Brother, keep fighting down there, and your team's the best. Keep fighting. If you need us, we'll be there in the morning. Just let us know.
We're here. We're going to stay here. Okay. And thank you, Steve Bannon. As soon as we said we were going to challenge them, they backed off. They tried it again. The security company that's separate, but they're taking orders, said, no, we're not going to do it. I mean, we are, and I've got tapes. I've got it all. It's so insane, folks. This is the takeover of the Republic. This is a live coup. We've got Matt Bracken, who's a retired Navy SEAL, best-selling author, who's on with us, and we've got Owen Schroyer here. Let me tell you, this will be the last show. I'm not here hyping that, folks. Like I'm sleeping here at the office. This is so horrible, and because I know it's not about me, it's about America, and I can't believe that we've got to this point. These communist pieces of shit are shitting all over our country, but we're going to win this thing, folks. But let me tell you, the full assault has begun. Matt Bracken, you want to give us a comment?
I've been just, I can't stop listening for the last couple hours. I'm just like, I'm so glad that this connection is still open, and Daria clicked me in. This is it. This is like the scene in Gladiator, where Russell Crowe gets stabbed and then he's got to go out and fight the damn traitor Caligula. This is the point in the Bolshevik Revolution where they upgrade all the charges, where all the political prisoners, they put out an execute order. Okay. They ratchet it up a level. They go from you're on trial, you're in the dungeon, but maybe then they just put out an order, execute. That was the signal with lifting all of these the expired misdemeanor to 34 felonies, 34 felony convictions. That's a signal to every U.S. attorney to go after every J6er. Anything that's a misdemeanor, elevate it to a felony. They're totally going for broke. Steve Bannon is absolutely right. They are like cockroaches, with the light going on right now. I'm an avid listener of Bannon War Room. Between the InfoWars audience and Bannon War Room, you can see how the synergy works there. You can see how one group feeds and amplifies the other. If they manage to shut down the building and close the studio, it won't matter, because every Patriot podcaster will have Alex Jones on as a guest every day on every channel. They can't close Rumble, Odyssey. They can't close all of these alternate channels. Even just people's podcasts, that are going out by 1,000 different avenues. If they try to shut you down, it'll be a terrible backfire on them, which will be great for us, because Alex, you'll be on every single day, and people will look
but
for
Matt,
where
I know you're right. You're smart. So why are they so desperate? Why would they do something like this? They got big false flags coming. Clearly, they're going to false flag claim Trump supporters.
They want Bannon and Jones off the air before this election, because you are the two most powerful voices. That's why Megyn Kelly, did the Let's Go Old Testament. They know that they have to take Alex Jones and Steve Bannon off the air. And they're fools. They're not highly intelligent people. If they put Bannon in prison and he manages to sneak out phone calls, those phone calls will get millions of listens. When Navarro is in jail right now. Trump could be in jail 3 days before the 3 days before the convention. But all they're doing is going to boomerang on them. They're going to have an immense groundswell. Americans aren't going to fall for a Bolshevik French Revolution, even if they're trying to use their corporate media to say it's legal. He's a convicted felon.
Can you believe how insane it is that I saw the security company I hired that's under they think they're in control, and I literally picked up on it. I called and I said, "There's a shutdown." Yeah, how do you know that? And then they tried it last night in the night, outside of law, with no court order. And the security company went, "Well, wait, we can't do this without an order." They ordered today to shut this down. Like, they are hysterical. I mean, that is crazy.
That's a sign of desperation. I've been reading Barnes, and I listened to Viva Frei, and they're absolutely right. They're going to try to, as you squirt out into other podcasts, they're going to try to play whack-a-mole with every podcaster and demonetize everybody that tries to amplify or retransmit your voice. It won't work. History teaches us that that's a failing strategy. It's a completely failing strategy. It's like in Germany, not to sidetrack, it's directly related. Somebody came up with this little rave jingle, and they turned it into Ausländer Raus. Okay, Deutschland is Deutsch, and they're putting people in jail for singing Ausländer Raus. Well, how can you put people in jail for humming or whistling a tune as they walk past, a Stasi agent? They can't. it just makes them fools. The more they try to play whack-a-mole with your voice, the more people will look for it. Like a
It's an epic moment. I want to come back to you. I want to come back to you. Matt Brackett, best-selling author, former Navy SEAL, great patriot at the moment. But Roger Stone heard about what's happening. I told him probably what was going on. They literally were going to padlock the thing last night. And I noticed extra security, people acting weird. And I said, it was obvious to feel it. And the security guys are nice guys. I know them. They're like looking at me weird and really conflicted. I called my lawyers and said, what's going on? They go, well, we just heard they're shutting you down tonight at 7 o'clock. They're making their move out of desperation. The coup is live, Roger Stone. What do you think's happening?
Alex, I guess in the larger sense, I'm not surprised at all. In the more narrow sense, I'm not sure what their legal authority to close you down. But nothing here surprises me. Look, I'm a man who had 29 fully SWAT-clad FBI agents swarm my home, brandishing fully automatic M4 assault weapons at 6 o'clock in the morning for the first-time nonviolent crime of allegedly lying under oath to Congress about Russian collusion. But I've understood since the days I worked at InfoWars, since the days that Owen Schroyer and I helmed the war room, that they're afraid of us because InfoWars is indeed the tip of the spear. We're not always right. We're only right about 80% of the time. But we have been fearless in our advocacy of the truth. We've called out the globalists. We've called them out over the COVID-19 vaccination. We've called them out over the weaponization of our criminal justice system. We particularly called them out about their efforts to inch us towards World War III. So, Alex, I hearken back to election night, sitting in your studio when you and I together learned that Donald J. Trump had become president. I was a bullion, and you, as you will recall, seemed a little depressed. And I said, Alex, what's the matter? There's a great night of victory. You said, no, you said to me, no, you don't understand. Now they're really going to come after us. Now things are going to get worse, not better. And we saw that. We saw that with Paul Manafort. We saw it with General Flynn. We saw it in their two phony Ukrainian impeachments and their Russian collusion hoax. So InfoWars has been a voice of truth. They can't believe the way that we have grown as a movement, and that millions and millions of people look to us for leadership, look to us for the truth, and therefore to complete their authoritarian control of America, well, they got to shut InfoWars down. And we just can't let that happen.
Well, you're right, Roger. And I just am so blessed to know you and President Trump and all the crew and all the great guests like Matt Bracken. And we have integrity and we're here. But I want to let people understand, I haven't told people 10% of what went on. It would take 10 hours to tell you the treachery in the Southern Poverty Law Center infiltrating. We found them and got them out. It has been, and I'm not a victim, so that's why I stayed focused on the big issues, the big war for everybody, like cutting off the pipelines and drag queen story time and open borders and fentanyl, because I wasn't going to make it about us as a man. I watched my grandfathers and my dad never make a big deal about what they're going through, but it's so sad to see America being destroyed right in front of us. And it would be so easy if people just woke up to this to stop these people. This is sick. This is happening. And the good news is, in the real polls, Trump's way ahead. But so many people say, oh, they're going to have fraud. Well, we know from the studies, a giant landslide overrides fraud. We can spend an hour explaining that with Zuckerberg's list and the dead people and the out-of-staters. But folks, you've got to vote. You've got to get people to register. You've got to do this. They wouldn't be suppressing the vote if it didn't have power. Roger, can you speak to that and President Trump's strength and the 80 million he's raised in 2 days? What can we do to be men right now?
It's precisely why they're trying to lock him up. Look, they know their policies are a complete and total failure. Gasoline where I am is $4 a gallon and rising. You can go to the grocery store, a lot of the shelves are empty, and when you do find the items you want to buy, the price knocks your eyes out. Yesterday I bought a steak. Well, it wasn't really a steak, it was really 3 bites of a steak, but it was $18. That's Joe Biden's economy. They hook up these unemployment numbers. They're completely phony. Unemployment is 3.4%. if you forget the 685,000 people who've stopped looking for work in the last year. So they have no positive record to run on. They can't win a free, fair, honest, transparent election. So they have to wait for the fourth year of the Biden presidency to indict Donald Trump to try to essentially...
So let me ask you, what is your advice? Should I go home tonight? Should I let them shut it down? Should I sit here and call the police when they try to do it with no court order? I mean, we're literally here at the end of this 30-year operation right now. Like, and the listeners are like, oh, yeah, right. Watch, folks. 80% chance we're gone in 2 days. I mean, this is the takedown right now. I had to literally get in people's faces and call lawyers and explain to people, you're not allowed to shut us down without a court order. They have armed people here.
Yeah. It's very hard for me to say because I don't understand under what authority they're closing you down.
No, they don't have the authority. They just ordered it.
Well, then I wouldn't leave the premises if I were you.
Yeah, that's where we're at. So this is emblematic, Roger, of how's the big guy? How's Trump doing?
By the way, I seem to remember a similar situation in the Alamo. And as I recall, you're a Texan. Why would you ever walk out? Why would you ever walk out? You wouldn't. That's not the Alex Jones I know.
No, I agree. So how's Trump doing?
I think he's doing surprisingly well considering.
Because he looked super depressed when he came out. I get it. He's robbed. Total lies, all of the fraud.
I suspect some of his lawyers may have misled him into believing that a hung jury at a minimum was a sure thing. Even others.
You predicted a conviction.
There was never any chance of that whatsoever. This trial was just as rigged as my trial, just as rigged as General Flynn's trial, just as rigged as your bankruptcy trials, completely and totally rigged. These people have no respect for rules, law. None of these things matter. If they control the judge, they control the situation. So it is, I think he's in surprisingly good spirits. He's certainly happy about the enormous influx of small dollar contributions to his race because we were running far behind Biden, the Democrats financially.
Yeah, he's got all the big money.
It's a definite windfall. But he's unbroken. He's unbound. He is resilient. He's determined. And I think he said it best. The final determination will be November 4th. Not now, but November 4th. What's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks? Personally, I think they will probably try to incarcerate him because they got to get him. So
let's talk about that. The numbers on the little factoids on that. Yeah, they're already promoting it everywhere. So how would that look? God, that'll even blow up bigger. Like they think that'll help. Rikers Island. What's going to happen?
It would be an extremely large mistake. Look, I understand a little bit about this. Once you are convicted, the judge has total control of your life. The judge can set the conditions of your release, and he can say there are no conditions of your release. You shall be incarcerated immediately. Obviously, he didn't do that, or they would have taken him into custody immediately after the verdict. This idea that just because you're on appeal, you will be free to travel and say anything you want is not necessarily so. So my guess is that they're going to be as hard-assed and as draconian as they were during this trial, as they were during my trial, as they were during General Flynn's trial. And they realize that Donald Trump out and around the country speaking freely, that's an extraordinarily dangerous thing for them. So the real answer is no one knows. Now, there's also the question of whether Trump should, as Mark Levin and others have advocated, file a direct appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. There is evidently a mechanism to do that. No guarantee that the court, of course, would agree to hear it, but it would be at least proactive. Otherwise, you are waiting for a hostile leftist judge who's looking for his federal seat on the court to sentence you in July. And I don't think they have any qualms whatsoever of trying to put the Republican candidate for president in prison. Trump, to his credit, has already said, you know what? If I have to go to jail for the U.S. Constitution, I'll do it.
Oh,
This guy
yeah.
has ice
But
water.
I agree. And they're going to try to kill him in jail. So, yeah, we should pray for Trump. He's not perfect. None of us are. He is the man in the arena. If you don't back President Trump or Elon Musk right now, who is literally slaying their ass, you're an idiot. I don't want to hear a bunch of perfection stuff or this, he should have done that. You're not a man in the arena if you don't back Donald Trump right now. Roger Stone, StoneZone.com. Let's talk tomorrow. Gut level, I think we're shut down in 2 days. So it's total insanity going on right now. But thank you, Roger. We're going to come back stronger than ever. I appreciate you and God bless you.
God bless you, Alex. We're praying for you, praying for your entire family, praying for everybody in the crew there at InfoWars. We are with you in spirit and praying for you around the clock.
That's why I feel so good.
Well, I agree with Roger. I'd say right now it's a 51% chance they put Trump in jail. And, Roger's gone through this. I've gone through this. And until people have actually gone through this process, it's almost impossible to explain how committed to evil these people are. You think, oh, well, they'll be going too far putting them in jail. They don't care. They really don't care.
Retarded arrogance.
And so I think what's going to happen is I'd say 51% shot. I mean, it's a razor's edge, but I'd say 51% shot. They're going to put Trump in jail.
I'd say 70.
And so on July 11th,
and you're like, that'll blow up their face. They don't care. No. They don't care. They're evil.
On July 11th, that's his sentencing. The first debate's supposed to be June 27th. They haven't announced any travel restrictions on Trump. I would imagine he has some.
Yeah, watch Biden say, I don't debate a felon.
I mean, they might not even let him travel. They might say, you're not even allowed to leave New York. And so they might just say, well, he can't show up. I don't know what they haven't announced the travel restrictions. I'm sure it's part of his.
The bottom line is
release.
We're in a war, folks. Sorry, we didn't ask for it. You're in one. You're going to roll over to communist devil worshippers, or
So they're going to sentence Trump on the 11th. My guess is they'll probably sentence him to some time, but he'll be. They might release him on appeal. That's I think where they could maybe release him is they'll release him on appeal.
But they'll take him into custody. That image.
They might take him into custody, or they could do like what they did to Dexter Taylor, who's appealing his case on phony gun charges, and just say, we're just going to hold you until your appeal, and that could take years. So that's going to be the big day is July 11th, what they sentence him to, and then if they decide to have him in jail pending appeal or released pending appeal.
And I want to explain to our enemies something. They keep intimidating me and attacking my family. I can't give up. I can't bow. So understand, no matter what you do, I want you to know, you never intimidated me. You never made me bow. You never pissed on me. I'm literally free from you. Harrison Smith comments. We'll go back to Matt Bragg and then back to those Spaces comments.
No, I think everybody's exactly right. I would think it's impossible they're going to put Trump in jail, but it was impossible that they would charge him for 34 felonies over
or 2 men can have a baby or any of it.
Yeah, so everything's on the table now. They are going for broke. I think you're absolutely right, and everybody needs to be prepared for it. I think Trump should. I don't even know. I sort of started saying it as a joke, but now I'm kind of serious. I think he should apply for political asylum in a place like Florida or Texas and say we don't think this order is legitimate. We're not going to surrender him.
Let's be serious. I agree with you. We're not like them trying to override the original system. They started this. So that's why it's all on the table now. Like, you're going to have governors and legislatures start indicting Democrats. And like, we didn't do this. Plus, they did real crimes. Like, but I want aggressive prosecutions. I want war.
Well, it looks like we're heading to scorched earth, I would say at this point. This is nowhere even near what the final level is. The Republicans have barely an inch of a spine. They're going to need a full-blown spine of steel if they're going to ever push back against this. The Democrats, like you said earlier, they are from the tops down to the bottom, from Schumer, Mayorkas, down to the scum that they have in the streets and the courtrooms and the classrooms, whatever. They're all in on phonyism.
They're all a satanic cult of assholes.
They will go after phony charges and they will bring it to the end. And so eventually we will get to the point, and maybe it's when they put Trump in jail, maybe it's when they steal the 2024 election. Eventually we'll get to the point where the Republican Party realizes, oh, you want scorched earth. That's what you want. There is no, oh, we'll have integrity or we'll have ethics or the whole system burns. It's, oh, no, you were always the whole system burns. Oh, you were always scorched earth. So then maybe they'll say, okay, wait, you allowed 10 million people to invade the southern border in 4 years. You allowed.
That's it. So we have to get to the point of like, they're not stopping. And you don't make deals with these people. You don't make deals with cancer. You cut it out. Matt Bragg, comments on this. Appreciate you holding.
Yeah, the proof that this whole trial was rigged is so simple. Judge Marchon, out of he's not even, he's just an associate judge. So he's like an untenured professor. He got picked for the Bannon trial, other J6 and related trials, and then the Trump trial. Right. But he is a leftist soldier. You have to understand, he's willing to like run through the minefield and get blown up. He doesn't care if his reputation's ruined. He doesn't care if his name
because
is mud.
Thinks he's going to win in the end. He thinks he's going to win in the end.
Well, and the left, he'll get a job at the Southern Poverty Law Center for 6 figures, do nothing job. They take care of their own. They'll give him a think tank, do nothing job. They reward their soldiers. We don't. But one good thing about this is it's flushing out the establishment GOP elite, the mamby-pambies. This is now, like Bannon said this morning, you got to pick a side. You got to choose a side, and this is going to flush out all of the weak Nellies in the GOP. And if it comes to shutting down the building, they may also do something, just cut the cable. So people listening to this broadcast right now have to be prepared for just a black screen, because at any moment they might say, well, the frontal assault on the building through the security didn't work, but we're going to go downtown and we're going to cut a cable, flip a switch, force somebody else. So the broadcast can go dark. People have to be ready to find Alex on alternate channels. It's very important. In the short term, Bannon's idea of flooding the area, that may not be that simple, because your location is semi-secret, and you don't want that to become a news camera helicopter shot. But I would absolutely not leave the building. I would force them to carry you out in handcuffs, or taser you or Haldol you. The shot. I would not.
I agree.
Go.
So Matt, we're here with the literal feds trying to shut the building down. To me, that's emblematic of their failure. But I just feel like I should stay here all night, because millions are tuning in, millions right now. I mean, this is going down. But to me, that does not show it shows their weakness.
And as far as Trump, I thought it was a 30% chance of a hung jury at least, but 34 charges, 34 guilties. It's a completely rigged. I think they will arrest him. At the minimum, they'll do house arrest. So I think it would be a good idea. Go to Mar-a-Lago, ask for asylum in Florida. Say that, and this just will throw the entire federal system right into the under the spotlight. Can a Bolshevik communist judge in New York run our country from Manhattan? And so this is in a sense a humiliation ritual. If they say, Trump, you can't even go to the convention. You've got to stay home or you'll be arrested. Well, this is sort of like the original Mar-a-Lago raid, and what Bongino's been talking about with the blue on blue versus Secret Service. He's a protected person for life. That they send the FBI in on a raid, unmarked, undercover clothes, looking for a blue on blue incident. If March on, I think what they're going to do is give him a house arrest and forbid him to travel to the convention, and then that will be a challenge to MAGA world to protect Trump and get him to the convention just by putting bodies there. And this reminds me a lot of J6, where they're building up to a date where they knew for weeks J6 was going to have 500,000, 1 million people, and the most masterful Aikido jiu-jitsu move in political history was to do the Capitol, and I get it. So now they're working for another J6.
That's right. They're going to stage a false flag and blame us. Matt Bracken, come on back soon. Thank you so much, Matt Bracken. We got a bunch of big speakers ready. Who's up next?
All right, let's go to Ian Crossland next. Ian, go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you got to say. You've been waiting patiently.
Thank you, Matt Bracken.
Oh, I got to re-add.
Ian glitched out. We're adding him back right now, but so you got to go to Dom first.
Hey,
Tom Luger.
Hey, thanks guys for having me. I hear everyone there speaking about Trump, and I know we're still pretty hyped up about Trump. But right now, the task at hand, they're trying to shut down InfoWars. I mean, I care a lot about what's happening with President Trump, but people have to kind of open their eyes and see that it's not random that they're trying to hit Mr. Jones a few days after what happened with the Trump verdict. They are targeting anyone that has a reach on the people, because we're entering the most important election of all time. It is not random that they're targeting InfoWars at the time that they are. They're coming down on the most important people in our movement, and we need to stand for them. They are coming for all of us. Everything we've been warned about in the past, we're living in the reality. They are no longer after just Alex Jones or Trump. They are actually coming down on all of us. If you don't think they coming for you before November hits, you haven't been paying attention. This has reached a whole new level of demonic control. I don't even have the words for it. I'm so disgusted with what's going on in this country right now. People have to understand.
I don't want to write myself into this, but I literally caught them planning to shut this down yesterday. I've been living here to stop them, and they got all scared because I'm here. They're literally, without even a federal order, trying to shut this down. They are desperate.
People have to understand they're in this war. All of us are in it at this point. They're coming for every single American. It's undeniable. They're asking for absolute control and submission of the United States of America. And the way that we react to things like this, with them trying to shut down the InfoWars, if we're quiet about it, they're coming for your house next. They're coming for your car next. They're coming for your child next. We have to let people know that enough is enough. We cannot stand by while great people that's fighting for this country are targeted, deplatformed, and slandered. We have to fight back.
Well, Trump said it 1,000 times. They're not coming after me. They're trying to get through me to get to you. And it's true. This is the communist takeover. Tom Luker, I'm going to come right back to you. General Flynn, former head of Defense Intelligence, former top national security advisor, got in the space. I don't know if he's ready yet, but yeah, it's a real canary in the coal mine that they are. I'm literally physically here and literally had to tell people coming to lock the doors, ordered without court orders to shut us down, that they were going to go to jail. I'm literally physically here, slept 3 hours last night in this building. I'm not putting on a big act here. General Flynn, what do you think is happening?
Yeah, so number one, Alex, God bless you for doing everything that you've been doing. I want everybody to understand is that we really have to stop thinking conventionally. I mean, these people, this is a communist takeover. The bigger strategic plan was 8 years of Obama, 8 years of Hillary. Donald Trump got in the way in 2016, and they started in earnest to take the country over then, and they made the decision, and they made it during the COVID lockdowns. They made that decision that this will never happen again, that there will not be another Donald Trump, in their way again to affect basically the takeover of the United States of America. This is America with communist characteristics, right? So just like they still do this in downtown Beijing. They have people wear billboards to shame them, to say how bad they've been to the state. This is exactly what they're doing to Trump. They're basically saying to Trump, they're trying to shame him and all of us into this submission that they are planning on doing. I mean, this is for real. This judge could have actually kept him in jail that day. Okay, but the jury came out with the 34 charges. I believe what they're going to do is they're just going to, when he comes back on the 11th, they're going to put this Merchan guy is going to put him in jail. But Trump said in his comments the day after, I guess it was yesterday, if I remember the days right, Trump actually said something I think is very important for all of us to understand.
No, you're right, General. It was yesterday. It was yesterday, yeah. Trump said something that was very important. He said a bunch of things, but he said something that was very important. He says, this is bigger than me. He has always said things to that effect. This is bigger than him. This is about the takeover of the United States of America by a fairly small group. But I don't think that the people on this call, or I don't think the American people understand that group is not as small as it used to be. That group used to be much smaller 20, 25 years ago. Now that group basically has control over the U.S. intelligence community. It has control over the U.S. Department of Defense. The United States Department of State has control over the White House. It has control over, I just call it the corporatocracy of America. Clearly, the educational institutions. I mean, these are communists. These are not like lefties or progressives wearing rainbow colors in their hair. These are hardcore Marxist communists. There are people with faces and names that are part of our government, and that's what's happening. And everybody needs to understand that. So, I sit here and I was over the last 48 hours and Christ, the last 3 years, these people are going to do everything that they can to destroy this country. And they've taken the steps
if you understand things like the Bolshevik Revolution, the red and the blacks in the 60s, if you have read.
Well, General, let me just stop you. What you're saying is the former head of Defense Intelligence, and I'm seeing it with all my listeners. They are rolling out that they've launched. The war just started, like 150 something days out. They have just launched. The assault has begun. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, let me think about this, okay? And I've been doing this my whole life, where I have to put my feet into the shoes of our enemies, right? That's what my job was as an intelligence officer from the time that I was working in an infantry battalion on the battlefield. In that case, it was in Central America. So, I've always had to put myself in the opposition's head. And that's what I rack my brain over constantly is, if I was on their team, what would I be doing? What would I be thinking? What would be my strategy? What would be the tactics I would use? This latest thing with Trump, that is a tactic. It is a tactic. The bigger issue, and Trump nailed it. It is bigger than him. This is about taking over this country. So if I put my feet into the boots of our opposition, in this case, this progressive left in this country, which holds the levers of power right now, folks, whether we like it or not, they hold the levers of power. They are scheming to do whatever they can, and my belief, and this I'm more than 50% now, based on what we just recently saw, and another tactic that they just did, and they're going to do it again on the 11th of July. That the likelihood of us having an election on the 5th of November, I'm saying that it's unlikely. Far more than 50% now, because of what they are planning on doing. There is no way.
And General Flynn, former head of defense intelligence, totally, they're pre-programming massive right-wing terror attacks. I'm looking for false flags. They are totally signaling that. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, so it's not just these false flags. It's what they're doing to you. It's a bunch of things. I mean, you're going to see that there's executive orders right now for a climate emergency that gives this President Biden warlike powers. We are already looking at what they're doing in Eastern Europe. I mean, there is going to be a shift in the economic system of the world here that this administration has bought into. That's this digital currency stuff. We are now seeing this sort of.
Well, let me ask that question. What is the announcement of Stoltenberg and NATO of heavy weapons to hit Russia, which is already going on, but a huge official taking credit in the threat escalation? You are a Cold Warrior expert. Yeah. What does that signify?
Yeah, what it signifies is that one of the things, and I had a conversation with a very sharp buddy of mine this morning, that there's a possibility that we'll see a false flag in a NATO country in Eastern Europe that then is blamed on Russia, and that gives them the authority, then NATO, it gives NATO the authority to basically call for Article 5 and start to fight back. And now it's NATO against Russia, and we're back to we're back to a Cold War that's going to turn hot between the East and the West, essentially. These people will do anything that they can to stay in power. They're looking for big excuses to stay in power and to shut the election down in November. I believe that. I believe that more in my heart today than I ever believed it, and especially after, because I believe, like a lot of people, that I never did believe. I will say that I never did believe that Trump wasn't going to be found guilty of something. I figured, one count.
General Flynn, we lost General Flynn. I just lost my headset. Oh, he's still there. Sorry, my headset went out. General Flynn, keep going. My headset went out. Give me the headset, guys.
Alex Jones can't hear the space, guys. So just give it a second.
Okay.
We can hear you, General Flynn.
Well, my bottom line, I assumed that they would only find him guilty on a couple of counts, right? But when they came back with 34 counts, I was like, oh my God, these people, they're even far more serious than even I could imagine. But believe me, again, I want people to understand. The big picture was 8 years of Obama, 8 years of Hillary Clinton, and we wouldn't be having X Spaces talks, okay? But Donald J. Trump got in the way in 2016, and he beat the odds. He ran the tables, beat the odds, and look at
exactly. So the Americans, start over, General. This is so important. You're on record. It's true. The whole game changed with Trump. He backed him up 7-8 years. And now the world's waking up. So what do we do to stop this? Because again, I'm not into myself. I don't care. But I get a canary in the coal mine. They are literally trying to put padlocks on the doors right now. I had to physically explain to people with guns that they didn't have an order to stop them. Like this happened today.
Well, I will tell you something that as soon as I heard about this, Alex, I sent a note to Ken Paxton in Texas, and because I think Ken Paxton is a decent person. I said, hey, you guys in Texas ought to go jump on top of this shit, and don't let these federal thugs come into the state of Texas and do something without at least the Attorney General being informed about what the hell they're doing. So at this stage, we're in a tough spot. We are in a tough spot.
I don't think I'm that important. I don't think I'm important, General, like you or Trump. I say the reality.
Alex,
I'm saying they want to take out Trump's supporters. It means a major move, right? When they're doing this.
They're doing this. It is about going after the sources of information that are the hard truth sources of information. And one of the things that I do believe that we must have, and I had a great conversation on yesterday with a United States senator. I won't name him just because he's in there trying to fight for us. But I will just tell you that we don't have any U.S. senators. We don't have any members of the House. We don't have the governors, particularly the governors of this country, Republican governors at least, because this is it. This is it. We are going to become a communist country if we don't if we don't get the people that can stand up right now. All of these political people who think that this is just politics as usual, that this is about big government versus small government, are out of their effing minds. This is about a communist takeover of the United States of America, where we will be forever known, forever called the United Socialist States of America instead of the United States.
I agree, General. So we're living in history, and you're our general, and you were there. They were so scared of you, so they came after you. What do we do? We pray, but what do we politically, temporally? What do we do?
No, I mean, I'm racking my brains about it because there have been some really positive things that people have done, and I do believe that we gotta keep ourselves informed. Number one, we've got to communicate. We've got to communicate constantly, and we've got to make sure that they know that we know what they're up to, and that we across the board. I mean,
and by the way, here's a microcosm. They show up with the hired security company I've had for 6 years and say we're putting locks on. I say, where's the court order? And today I did it. They backed off. The lawyers then backed them off. But it was communication. I didn't get in a fight. Right. But it was as a microcosm. I just communicated. That's what they don't want.
Yeah. But the other thing too is, and part of this is we've got to get the sort of the big wealthy conservatives to put something together. And there's people with a lot of money in this country.
No, I agree. They got to go all in. Everybody, middle class, poor, rich. You got to go all in right now.
And they got to. And what we got to do is we've got to. We should not be fighting with nickels and dimes lawfare against these assholes, excuse my Irish, that are pouring money in. God knows where this money's coming. Most of it's coming from overseas or other countries like China. I mean, the Chinese are licking their chops. So there's a couple of things that have got to happen, but the main thing is we've got to stand our ground and communicate. We have to communicate with each other constantly. We can't let something just ride it out and go, well, nothing's going to happen. No, exactly what you did today will cause these people to back down. They are in absolute fear right now of what it is that they're being exposed to actually doing, right? And the exposure is there because they have been trying to shame Donald Trump to shut up, go away, and maybe enough people will say, hey, enough is enough, and we can't take Trump anymore. Look at what has happened. And that tells me that the common sense of the American people across the board, I don't care whether you're red, white, blue, black, brown, purple with pink polka dots, the American people get it. And what's happening is the American people are saying enough is enough. We need more people like that. We need more of the blacks out there. We need more of the browns out there. We need more of the Asian communities out there. We need more of the.
And General, that's happening. They're panicking. So your incredible gravitas and advice. I go back to this. So looking at the numbers right now, Trump's going to win a landslide. The system is totally panicked. They're launching a full attack. We stay peaceful, but we intensify the info war. What else do we do?
Yeah. So let's assume, because I just said something about the election that I'm like beyond 50% that I'm not certain we're going to have one. I certainly, if I was on their team, I would say we can't have this guy back in the White House.
Yeah, no, they're losing. They're going to try to overturn the chessboard.
Yeah. So one of the things that we have to do, and I said this to a group of people last week, that we people can't sit there and tell me if they're from Michigan or they're from Kansas or Nebraska, and when I ask them, well, do you know whether you guys do mail-in ballots? Do you know whether you do ballot harvesting in this state? And they're like, I don't know. And I said, well, God dang it, every single one of us has got to know the voting structure and the voting system in our states. Now, that's number one. And because if you don't, then you need to learn it, and you need to start learning it like right now. We also just had, we're not quite done with the primaries in this country, but we have less than 35% turnout. Less than 35% turnout nationwide. That's insane. We are on the verge of losing the United States of America to communists. Okay, and if we don't overwhelm, God help us that we have a election in November. If we don't overwhelm it, and I'm not just talking about on election day. We have got to be so smart everywhere we're at, every state, every county, about what the system and the structure of the voting system is. And do not allow anybody to stand there and tell you that you can't watch somebody count a goddamn vote. We have got to be standing there, tall and with our phones, with our voices, with our leadership, with our local leaders, and standing there going, nope, we're not going home until we see every vote counted. And we're going to vote. We're going to do it under the light of, we're going to do it under the cameras, or we're going to live stream it. I mean, there's things that we have got to start to do, and we've got to start talking about, and we can't just do this, back and forth on social media. I'm wearing myself out, and trust me, folks, and Alex, you know this. I mean, this is exhausting, but it is absolutely necessary what it is that we're doing. So those of us that do have these higher profiles, or we're out there and we get this, believe me, I'm going to continue to fight all the way to the election.
But General, you play yourself down. You were the most important person other than Steve Bannon in the administration that came after you. You didn't back down, and you are America's general. You're George Washington 2.0. It's just true. It's not about kissing your ass. It's true. We need to understand that this is the crucible. We are entering the zone of the whole future right now. And I get it. That's why we're being overrun right now. I mean, I even told you all the stuff, sir. I'm sure you can imagine. It is insane right now. They are panicked, though. They got cars on my ass when I drive home. They have got people calling my wife fake women. Hey, I'm with your husband having sex with him right now. They are that. I don't see that as a weakness, General. I see it as a strength that our enemies are shitting their pants right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I see that all the time. And this is why we constantly get attacked by all the losers, bots, and haters out there, Alex, and others that are listening, because all of us are constantly being monitored, and all this craziness that this administration is forcing down our throats. I mean, the one thing that I pay very close attention to, of course, is our military and the way that they're trying to destroy the military. So they've destroyed the fabric of our country by bringing in, millions and millions and millions of these illegals, and just loaded up with drugs like fentanyl. I mean, they're all over the streets. I mean, this is not a border problem. We don't have a border problem.
Oh, everybody I know has dead kids from it.
Right. So we've got to make sure that we understand where we're at, whatever state you're in, whatever county you're in. If you can get involved, in the local level, get involved. You've got to get people. We have got to get smarter on our elections. We have got to get involved in some of these efforts.
No, but I totally agree. But just as Sir General, give us a battle space. How would you describe the world now? You're the expert on this. I mean, you got Obama to know that China turned against him when it already happened. Like, you were like the top general. Like, kiss your ass. It's well known. You're a visionary. Where are we right now in historical perspectives?
Yeah. So, if you think about the fall of, and this is, I just went back and forth with some folks about the fall of Rome. They lasted 1,000 years. We haven't been that long, right? I mean, and we are meeting all the indicators of the fall of an empire. We meet them all. We're overextended as a nation. We're in massive, massive debt. We've got internal domestic political problems. So we got, our party system. We have a GOP establishment that's feckless. The Democrats aren't the Democrats anymore. They're it's a stronghold of progressive left. So
they're a disease.
There it is. There's other indicators. But really, what we've got to be doing is we still have a lot of ingenuity and a lot of innovation, and we have a lot of people. And what we've got, and we're all over the landscape. The world, the global side of things, outside of the boundaries of the United States. When you look at Europe right now, Europe is a mess. I mean, the last election in the United Kingdom, I think it was 10 major cities were taken over by Muslim mayors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. To include
Europe is in full capitulation.
It is. It really, really is. And you only have a couple of holdouts there, like Orban and Poland, but Poland seems to be backing down. So Europe is in a place where
you had that major prime minister against war just got shot. I mean,
exactly. So we're looking at a massive physical war in Europe. Real potential that I hate to even use this word nuclear, but real potential. You've got the Middle East that was
my next question, General. You said nothing's tactical. Putin said 2 days ago, he said, my threat is real. If you attack us with cruise missiles, which they're already doing, I'm going to use nukes. What the hell? I mean, that is, what do we do about that?
Yeah, well, so here's the other thing about warfare. So we attack them, right? And whether it's in Russia or whether it's in Lebanon or Syria or Iran, it doesn't matter. They're going to attack us here. Okay, so that's the thing about warfare. It's not this nice, clean movie like World War II flick, right? This is war, and war is unfair. And war is going to come inside of the domestic boundaries of the United States of America by our foreign enemies. Because you know what, folks? They're here. They're here already. We know that there's at least, 100,000 military-age Chinese men in this country right now. Look at the number of terrorists that we have already been identified.
By the way, marching in with the same boots and backpacks. Those are military men.
I mean, think about how insane that is as a policy to have a wide open border while you're engaging in warfare with one of the biggest.
So let me ask General Flynn, that's a great point. What is the plan there? They obviously have some sick plan, General.
No. I mean, the sick plan. It is a sickness. And it's like a cancer on the body of America. It's just let this cancer metastasize inside the country to just look. This is to destroy the culture of the United States of America. Barack Obama is one of the big leaders of this. Biden can't even get up a flight of 3 stairs. Let's face it. I mean, there are other people that are inside the government. There are other people that are outside the government and overseas that have they got their knives and forks out to start cutting up the United States of America. One of the
400,000.
So listen, I don't, because I know somebody else.
By the way, General Flynn, in closing, we're hitting millions of viewers right now. On top of it, we're hitting record listeners. So you are the former head of Defense Intelligence. You're the former National Security Advisor to Trump. You're the guy that warned Obama that China was going to do all this. For people that don't know, I'm trying to kiss your ass. You're like, you were a visionary. What can we do in closing with millions of new viewers right now watching who want freedom, they want prosperity, they don't want World War III? What do we do?
Yeah, get off your asses and get out into your communities and let the local leaders know what it is that you're sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of it. I mean, I'm doing it here in my local community on the west coast of Florida, and I'm going all over this country to tell people the exact same thing. Get off the couch and get out into your communities and start letting people know we are not going to put up with this bullshit. This is our country. This is the United States of America, and we expect to follow the law. We expect to follow the Constitution. We expect to have our rights, and we are going to put demands on all these elected officials, the good ones, the bad ones, and the ugly ones, because they are all there right in front of us right now. And we are done. I'm done with this. I mean, we've got to stand our ground, and we got to do it peacefully. We got to do it lawfully, because that's what they're going to want to do. They're going to want to see some craziness happen, and then they're going to use it as an excuse to lock the country down.
Well, that was my last question. How do we deal with the false flag? Because they are all over the news, as you know, literally thousands of articles. I saw like 100 a day. They're going to say, we're staging terror attacks. No, Republican conservatives are not Catholic Americans, or Christian Americans. No. We're not staging terror attacks. How do we respond to them pre-programming that the terror attacks are coming? It's very obvious, the false flag.
Yeah, so never forget that the first report is always wrong. On the battlefield, a rule of intelligence on the battlefield is the first report is always wrong. So what we could see is a number of things occur, and what we have got to be, what we have to use great discernment for is to take a look at what it was. This is where I say steady sometimes. I would say steady, boys, right? So steady, and take a look at what's happening, understand your environment, and be aware, be self-aware of what's going on.
But don't get hysterical about the first report.
No, don't get crazy about, oh my God, this is steady, and take a hard look at it, and let's communicate. I mean, this is where these kinds of capabilities, like I think it was Nick that said they'll give us the black screen, or somebody said that. This government could shut everything down if they wanted to. So what we've got to do is we've got to be able to communicate, jump on these kinds of spaces when something like that happens, and let's figure out what it is. Let's do the analysis, and let's make the right decisions instead of automatically just thinking it's this or that, right? The first report is always wrong on the battlefield, and it will be that way when we start to see any false flags in this country. So stay.
No, I agree. So tell us, General Flynn, how do we find the amazing work you're doing?
Go to flynnmovie.com. I appreciate it, Alex. Flynnmovie.com.
By the way, I've heard it's great. I haven't seen it yet. It's amazing. In closing, how would you describe the current battle space with Trump? I see us winning huge. Then I see desperation by the establishment. Am I wrong? Or how would you describe the battle space and Trump? I mean, to me, I just smell victory everywhere. But I also sense desperation, which is super dangerous.
Yeah, I think that, I haven't been in a position where Trump is at right now. It's unnerving. But he's a strong guy. He's got a strong family. And I know that his faith, he doesn't wear it on his sleeve, but his faith is very strong. And I do think that all of us, whatever the decision is on the 11th by this crook, by this absolute crook, whatever that decision is, whatever they do, whatever they decide to do, because they're going to decide the worst case. Don't think conventionally. These people are irregular. They are following the Chinese irregular warfare doctrine to the letter. So don't think conventionally. What we have to be able to do is we have to be able to get in there with him. We might have to get in there with him, given whatever it is that they do, and stand our ground until there's a decision made about the person that we want as the president of the United States. I mean, I love this idea about let's hold the goddamn convention on the 4th of July weekend. Screw these people. We don't need to go up to Milwaukee, and operate like the conventional norms are and do what the GOP is telling us. Screw that. I mean, so that's just, I'm throwing that out there because I saw
that's
that.
Right. We just have some rally in Dallas, Texas, or wherever it just certifies us.
Yep. I mean, so whatever ideas, I'm not there's a lot more smarter people on this thing than I am, but I would.
Oh, really? General Flynn, who are they?
Well, we gotta have some ideas about what to do. And I do think that there's some great ideas out there, and we ought to think about some of these things that people are proposing, and then let's just execute. I mean, to me, it's like the more we stand our ground, the more we are communicating with each other.
No, you're right. You just said it. Execution is our will. Execute and just say we're done. This is it.
Yep, this is it. I mean, enough. Enough is enough of this bullshit. I mean, this is insane. They're destroying the country. This is not. They're taking away our rights. There is a small group of people inside of the government that are operating with a larger group outside the government, and they mean to finish up their objective, which is to turn this country into a communist Marxist regime. And basically, I mean, this is for real. This is it. There are the globalist side. On the globalist side, there are people overseas that have said this is going to be the last U.S. presidential election this coming November, if they have it. That's not my words. That's words coming out of the World Economic Forum. So, I mean, these are some very serious times, and we need serious people. But like I said, Alex, and everybody listening, stay steady. Don't believe the first reports. Get in there and figure out what's happening. Communicate across the horizon with everybody. Find those people that you can trust. Get involved in your local communities. And
bottom line, General Flynn, God help us. This is an epic battle for the Republic. This is here. This is a once in a 5-generation thing. It's happening. I want to see your movie. I can't wait to see it. I want to get you in the studio. I want to see the movie as soon as I can. How do we find the movie again? How people watch it online?
Yeah, go to flynnmovie.com and you can stream it. You can stream it. I appreciate that.
No, General Flynn, I appreciate you. You're such a hero. And it's not about kissing your ass. You are a great American. We love you, and we thank your family for your sacrifices. Thank you, General Flynn.
God bless, Alex. Thanks, everybody.
The former head of Defense Intelligence, the former top national security advisor, the guy that ran the whole army, like the guys like the Grim Reaper, literally telling you what's going on right now. And that's why I'm so proud to be here, folks, and not to bow when they tried to shut this down last night. It's bigger than us. We are here in an existential attack on America and the world, and we are not bowing. I'm so alive. Oh, and it's so good to know you. Harrison, it's so good to know you. Chase Geiser, so good to know you. All the rest of the crew. You guys are like, literally, I feel like you're me. Like when I think about the shutting down, it's like my arms being chopped off, my legs being, it's not some kiss your ass. I literally think of you as me. It's like we have done epic things. Some of these employees have been here 20 years, but it's also bittersweet because I'm like, you think doing this is going to win. The fact is, the fact they're coming in right now, folks, shows that we are so close to the victory. We are so close. I'm going to take a piss. Owen, you guys talk, and we'll go back to more callers. This could be the last show. Good chance they're shutting down tomorrow. This ain't hype, folks. Maybe we win it. You're like, oh, God, you're still on because we overcame it. But this is the big fight right now.
I've got Flynn's DVD actually for you. He sent me a couple copies, so I'll make sure you get that. You know, the people that need to hear this message and find the commitment and the will are and it's going to have to be the Republicans, obviously. I mean, maybe Democrats. Maybe Democrats decide that they have a spine to do the right thing. Maybe Democrats decide they want to save the country again. Probably not. But it's going to be Republican attorneys general. It's going to be Republican governors. You have seen some Republican senators and members of the House. I mean, subpoena them. That's what they're doing. They're calling to subpoena Judge Marchand. I'd go after the lawyers involved in all of this stuff. I'd subpoena all of them. Say, okay, you want to play this game? All right, let's play this game. Let's see how you like being put under the microscope. Let's see how you like your books getting gone through. Let's see how you like sitting on the other side of that courtroom. Let's see. This is the treatment you want to inflict on the American people. Let's see how you like it. So, you know, that's the problem. It's the same old problem. The people that we elect. It's like Mike Johnson going on Fox News and talking about how corrupt the judge is, how criminal cabal runs this country. And it's like, okay, well, so I can sit here and say that on my couch. Like millions of Americans are sitting there saying that on their couch. What's the difference? You got elected. You're the Speaker of the House. You're the guy that's supposed to be doing something. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, we elected you. You're Speaker of the House. And you're sitting here telling the American people, well, gee, golly, there's a criminal cabal that runs things, and they really don't like Trump, and they're getting Trump, but it's okay. We'll win in November. What do you mean we'll win in November? You're sitting here telling us a criminal cabal runs the whole country and how corrupt it is, and you're going to convince us that you have the same amount of power as somebody sitting at their house drinking coffee in the morning, just getting ready for work? So that's what I'm sick of. And unless there's going to be a Republican leader that actually wants to do something, and I would argue Ken Paxton was one of the few, and he was really challenging the results of the 2020 election. He was really trying to file legal cases with that. He was really fighting back against the mandates. And so they went after Ken Paxton. And so that's the problem. But it's like eerie to have the Speaker of the House sitting there like, oh, gee, golly, well, this is, they're really getting Trump. They're a criminal cabal. Okay, thank you, Speaker. Now do something.
Yeah, no, it's utterly pathetic. I was saying the same thing about Ken Paxton in particular, because he was one that on Twitter said this was a show trial, or I don't know his exact words, but it was basically saying this is totally false. This is a criminal activity. And it's like, okay, if you really think that, then what are you going to do about it?
Here's the bottom line, folks. You ain't going to get nothing in life off kissing ass. And we're in a full war here, and you think I want to release the fucking audio I've got of the creepy-ass liberal fucking Fed coming to my office saying, oh, I got the fucking, why don't we steal some money together? I didn't want to fight with these people. I tried to just move on from it. At a certain point, you got to say, it's worse to bow down to this than to go along with it. You've got to decide you're done. That's all I'm saying. If you guys finish up, we got more people on Spaces. We got millions on top of a regular audience, millions. Because everybody's sharing this right now. And for those that don't know, why don't you recap? You guys have heard me describe it. How would you describe what happened in InfoWars for 24 hours?
Well, I would just to kind of finish up on what we're talking about here. You can't give in because you see what's coming. If you give into this system thinking, well, this is the easy way out, or it's too hard to fight back, or I don't want to risk whatever it is, well, you don't understand. You become a total slave.
No, the New World Order drops his dick in your face and says, do it. I'm telling you guys, we barely. I don't want to stay here tonight, man. I want to go home to my kids and my wife. I got to stay here. They literally tried to shut it down yesterday. That's why everybody's tuned in. And today. And I get we have this disease where we only cover outside attacks, which is a good disease. That's how I am. But now it's like we're down to the wire. I got to tell you what's happening with us. Like, do you guys understand? They have literally tried to order the shutdown of this.
First for censorship, first for lawfare, first for imprisonment, first for shutdown. That's it. And then I hope it's not first for the next level. I don't even want to say it, but that's where it's at.
So, but I just love the fact that they took our restraint as weakness. Like, you want full war, you got it. Like, you got what you want right now. Don't gaslight me anymore and say, while you're doing this to me, it's cute and funny.
Yeah. The story that keeps jumping in my mind is I was watching a documentary about, I think it was the Golden State Killer or something. And there was a young woman saying, my grandmother said, there's this prowler walking around. He's killing people. He's going into people's house. You need to lock your door. And the grandmother said, I don't want to lock my door. I don't want to live in a country where I have to lock my door. And she was killed that night by the Golden State Killer because she didn't lock her door. And yet, I don't want to live in a country where there's lawfare. I don't want to live in a country where the Republicans are having to go after the Democrats and the Democrats are going after. I don't want to, but that's the world that we live in. And
exactly. We don't want to do it, but they started it.
I don't want to do it.
It's like, okay. Oh, I'm like, okay. Like, wow. I'm a really nice person until I take the skin off. Like, it's like, if you guys are pussies, man, you ain't got no idea what I'm like.
And that is what it is. It's treating restraint like weakness and thinking because they're not fighting back, they can't fight back.
I got this big animal that's really bad. I'm trying to constrain, and they keep messing with me to make me release it.
Like, we don't want to fight because we know we're going to win. We don't want to put you people through that. It's they really don't.
They're demanding it though. They're demanding it. Yeah. They got to be run over. So okay, well, you got to get what you want then. I mean, I've got everything right here. And the dumbasses think, shut the show down so he doesn't release it. You dumb bastards, I released 1,000 places. I'm Alex Jones, you dumbass. It's so stupid.
Well, I think
they want to imagine they got the power.
I think the reality is probably in the next 30 days, you'll see InfoWars get shut down and you'll see Donald Trump. I guess the next 60 days, you'll see InfoWars shut down, Donald Trump in jail. I think probably what people are going to have to see.
And then World War III and the bird flu can proceed without interruption.
Yep. Probably what we're all about to witness.
Let's go to more people on Spaces.
Okay, so let's go to Ian Crossland. Ian, you've been here before. You moderated the infamous Zero Hedge debate that we had. That was wonderful a few months ago.
He's a great co-host with Tim Pool.
Great co-host with Tim Pool on Timcast. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You've been patiently waiting with your hand raised and say what you've got to say.
Thanks, man. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Ian, we love you. How did your colon
cleanse go? I love you too,
go?
Alex. Fucking so good, dude. I released like 4 feet of mucoid plaque, Alex. I took pictures. I'll show you.
No, he texted me about his colon cleanse. We had a little private conversation. It's kind of sick.
Dude,
okay, there we go.
Yeah, literally a liver flush, dude. That's where we're at. It's like time to heal your body, man. I mean, we got to become the best tools that we can be. Our bodies, we got to use them for good. We're radio receivers for light, for God's energy or whatever the fuck's going on, man. Firstly, you're going to be okay. And what happens? What happened? Why are they trying to close it down?
We're winning court cases. Our appeals are winning. They just had a big victory in Connecticut overturning stuff. And I don't know. I've been totally up front and everything's there. And like, I get here and I picked up weird stuff was going on. I saw security running around all scared. I said, oh, you're shutting us down today. As I picked it up, they go, how do you know that? I said, boom, I got you. And then it was just like, it all just goes from there because it's all like green light, attack. So that's what happened.
Okay, I'm going to come out there tomorrow and sit in with you for whatever it's for the near future and just make some stew and make. No,
you're welcome here. I'm going to sleep here tonight, and I'm going to sleep here the rest of whenever because I'm going to be here when whatever they try happens. I love this place, so we're here, but it's an epic moment.
Yeah. let's be cool and calm and rational and heal ourselves. Take the time to meditate and be calm. I think it's I don't know if history's going to look back on this or what, but we're like,
I hear you, brother. We love you. We'll come tomorrow. You did a great job on Timcast. How do people find you?
Oh, and just follow me on X if you wanna. At Ian Crossland. Yeah, that's
all right.
But
thank you,
really
brother.
take
Good
care
talk
of
to you,
yourself, brother. I'll see you
I'll bring
tomorrow.
up Jay
Alex.
Dyer, who's the best-selling author and researcher on the New World Order, and the co-host of my show. Ian just asked me, why is this happening? Because this is the final assault, and so it's here. I mean, you guys were here. I barely stopped them shutting it down. I had to physically say no and explain the law. There was no court order. It was all color of law, all because I had discovered what was going on criminally. And I've already released the tape today. If you missed it, it's on X. It's out there. I've got more stuff I'm going to release. But this is the feds trying to set me up and me not playing along. So it's an honest man who's not part of their system that won't comport to their fraud. So Jay Dyer, good to have you here, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this upsets me. Briefly, I'll just note that it was 21 years ago I saw a clip of you on a random website talking about Skull and Bones, and I went and watched it, and I watched a bunch of your documentaries, and I've been watching you ever since. And I think you probably underestimate the lengths to which you've affected so many millions of people out there, maybe even billions. And I think there's no real way to measure or even calculate the influence that you've had. So this is, it's a dark time, I guess. We knew they were going to do this, but it also kind of puts a vindication mark all over everything they've done. Over the years, people would say, well, if Alex is telling the truth, if he's right about all this, well, they try to shut him down. And then here we are at this very stage, this very juncture, which again is a giant vindication of what your life's work. So I think this is actually it's an honor in a way, because it shows that you've been right, you are vindicated, and even if they do, close InfoWars, which I think is nasty and demonic, like you said, I think it was a great term. You said retarded arrogance. That's perfect. So the analogies to the Bolshevik Revolution that the previous Matt Bracken and Steve Bannon made, those were perfect analogies. I think evil can really only double down. It always has to do these kinds of actions, these kinds of clampdowns. So, we know in that sense, we can know what they're going to do. And again, I think you're going to emerge out of this much stronger. Like you said, I hate it for the people involved in InfoWars. I've been honored to be on that spot with you for the last 4 years. So I'm really appreciative of that. But
I appreciate you. To me, it's so emotional because he does so much good. There's so many good people. Now they're going to blow it all up. I'm not a pussy. We've had 30 years here and so much. And to me, it signifies what's about to happen. It's going to be so rough, Jay. And it just makes me sick.
It's that OKC model that you've been talking about, that, when there was a rising populism at that time, they went to that OKC false flag model. So I think that you're right about that warning.
Speak to that, because it's not hard to predict. They pre-program right wingers going to kill everybody, and now it's all over the news. What do you see happening next?
Well, remember they were saying, Trump, it goes back to Russiagate. They said at the time, the same people that put out the Steele dossier and all that, they had that white paper where they said, well, we can't actually allow another Trump administration, because if they have two, they even said in the document something like it'll be the end of the global world order as we know it.
Oh, even the Financial Times said Trump's the end of the New World Order, because he just doesn't dislike people.
Yeah, and that document even said we cannot allow it, and that's kind of the thinking behind why they had to do all this, Steele dossier stuff. So I think that their hand is forced to do these kinds of clampdowns, but everybody sees it, and it kind of exposes everything even more. And so it's kind of.
But why can't they just get to be pro-human? Like I love it. Like
because it's
what's
demonic.
wrong with
It's a
fucking
demonic
pussy?
energy.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like what is wrong with? I'm sorry to be gross here with the listeners, but what's wrong with pussy? Like humans are great, man. Why are they so anti-human? I love people. Like why are they? I don't even understand their. My blind spot is Jay is why aren't they like fans of humans? Like I'm a super fan. Like I love humans. I love my parents. I love my wife. I love my kids. I like people. Like why are they such assholes? Like what is their fucking problem?
I think you used a great term, retarded demonic arrogance. I think that you tap into these energies. You talk about it all the time. We tap into these things by our actions and by our will and our intention. If we tap into these dark forces and push this demonic type of worldview, we only get more and more demonic. So I think that's really the best explanation. Is the spiritual.
Well, look at the deep state. They've committed so many crimes. They've committed so many crimes on an international scale, a global scale, not just a domestic scale, that they have to double down. The minute they retreat or the minute they give up, they're all going to prison.
But that's my thing is, shouldn't we as humans all be a gang of humans? Like, I really like people. I don't want to see people doing bad. Don't take anything away from me, but I want to empower you. I just see this human future, Jay. I want to empower us. I just love us. it's like something's wrong with me. According to these enemies, like, why would we hurt our children?
Well, that's what Jesus says. That's like one of the worst sins, right? Is to hurt one of these little ones. So, that to me again just speaks to the fact that it's at root it's demonic. What's the other explanation? There's not really any other good explanation. Like why would they all move in that?
So it's an alien attack. Speak to that. The globalists know that this is an alien transmission to get us to kill each other.
Yeah, and you tap into that and you kind of align yourself with it when you go along with through your will and intention these different plans and evil actions. When you sign on to that, when you say, no, I'm all for that. Yeah. You're aligning your will and your energy and intention with that demonic transmission. So I like that. You use that analogy of transmission all the time. That's a perfect analogy.
So Jay, tell us, what would humanity do if we merged with God? Well, imagine it. It's so powerful. Like, oh my God. Like how do we get Satanists to realize they're not dialed in the wrong? They're dialed in the wrong frequency.
Well, let's look at historical civilizations that have dialed into God. If you look at the Byzantine Empire, it's just one example, and I'm not saying it's perfect. It had a lot of problems, but it was the longest and most successful empire in the history of the world. And they made a lot of advances. They did a lot of great things. It wasn't perfect. They eventually fell. But that's just kind of an inkling of what happens to humans and what can happen, the potentiality that we have.
That's why the left loves Islam, because they took that down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Like if we did tap into that, like our potentiality would be infinite.
Why aren't they team humanity, Jay? I don't get it. Like, we're made in the image of God. It's like the globalists know they can manipulate us to whatever they want. Why not get behind the main power?
Maybe the Darwinian ethos that believes that you have to destroy everyone else, survival of the fittest, since that's kind of the operating system.
So what do you make of Trump's fake conviction and all of this and literal trying to lock the doors at InfoWars? I'm not just hyping this, folks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying we're literally here at the last vapors. I hope we beat it. I hope we do, but this is not hype. Like we're here. Like we're in the last vapors.
The things are connected. They're absolutely connected. I mean, they had to do this. They can't have somebody kind of, subverting the mainstream stories about Trump, the mainstream narrative, which is all not true. It's all kind of obvious kangaroo court stuff. So you have to be shut down ahead of the possibility of, the election. It's quite obvious why they had to do it.
All right, brother. Well, good to talk to you. We're taking a few more speaker comments.
Thank you.
And we're going to shut this down. Everybody can go home and get some sleep. I don't know. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll probably sleep here tonight. We don't know what's going to happen, but there are attempts to literally padlock InfoWars and shut us down. And they're like, oh, just don't worry. We're your friends. Why are you upset about that? Don't be extreme. It's no big deal.
I'd like to say to understand, so people understand, because I know that this team here, the broadcasts, the 30 years of work, Alex, you put into this, your blood, sweat, and tears, that what does InfoWars mean to the audience? What does InfoWars mean to me? When I left sports media and joined politics, there were already a lot of people that thought I was crazy for doing that. A, because they thought my political beliefs were crazy. Now they realize how ahead of the curve I was. And then B, oh, you're going to go join InfoWars and Alex Jones, the crazy people, the conspiracy theorists, the kooks. Like, what are you doing? You're committing career suicide. And I, of course, I knew that was never the case. And so to make that commitment 8 years ago and to be completely vindicated and to ride this epic ride with you till the end, it's truly an honor.
It is. And Vivian Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick's great daughter, sent me a link. We were at the top of Twitter, top political trend just now, which is good. So freedom's popular.
And it's right where we belong. It's right where we belong. And that'll be their final motivation to come padlock this studio. Because he did it.
And that's why I wanted to just be here today. I'm so glad you came, because I just wanted to have a celebration of the great work we've done. And them shutting us down won't be a victory, folks. And believe me, I'm going to release all the stuff. I got their ass. But it's just, they're just desperate.
They can't have you on top. And so,
Well, they know they said what they said. And they're just like, oh my God, is he going to release it? Yeah, I'm going to release it.
But it'll be 2.0, it'll be 3.0, it'll be new clones, new satellites. So it's all in God's plan.
The damage has already been done. There's already 10,000 Alex Joneses falling down the path that you blazed. And since we're reminiscing here, I mean, I joined 7 years ago, and I joined after Trump won, because all through 2016, I had a great time just watching everything.
How did you get hired? I forget. You're it's like you're doing forever.
I got hired through Craigslist. No, it was a series of incredible coincidences, which essentially amounts to God just being like, no, you're supposed to be right here. So I ended up here as a cameraman and editor. But I just realized after Trump won, it was like, okay, now's the time. I got to get involved. I'd always had my political ideas, but my idea was always like, I'm a filmmaker. I'll keep my stuff quiet and try to be successful, and then I'll start talking about politics. But as soon as Trump won, it was like, now's the time to get involved, time to get active. I hope that if InfoWars goes down, God forbid, that people have that same reaction of, okay, I've been sitting by the sidelines for a while thinking things will work out. Now is the time to get involved. And once you do, God only knows what the future holds. And when I started here 7 years ago, right after Trump got inaugurated, February 2017, this room was full of products, I think, being sold. There was one studio, and it was the War Room studio now. Now there's that studio. There's the studio I do American Journal out of. There's this studio. We got another building. Band.video exists now. We were still on YouTube back then. I mean, the growth that has happened.
Well, that's the thing. They think they shut this down. We just now go boom.
Yeah.
Which I haven't even entertained that yet, but it's boom.
It's the Streisand effect. We'll only get bigger. We'll only have more support. People will only be more driven and they'll understand even more. I mean, it's like the thing with the Trump guilt. How many people, as I can't remember who was pointing it out earlier, but I think it was Steve Bannon was pointing out the number of people who were saying, all right, Chip Roy, now's the time. Let's get biblical with this. It's almost like,
all these legislatures are going to full war. They're pulling money from BlackRock. BlackRock's panicking.
Yeah, thank God. I'm almost glad Trump got found guilty, because if he was found innocent or found not guilty, we would celebrate and we'd be happy and we'd laugh at the liberals for their thing failing. But that awakening wouldn't have happened. I think it has to get to this extreme level to where people go, wait, they're shutting down media accounts. They're throwing former presidents in prison. Like, all right, I can't just ignore this any longer. So maybe it's a necessary transformation that we all go through. But perhaps the most vindicating part of all of this is that how many leftist outlets have failed in just the last year? I could probably name 10 off the top of my head.
Vice News.
They just laid off Media Matters.
Jezebel.
And by the way, I wasn't doing fake crying earlier. I literally, this is so epic. I can't help but cry because the energy's so high.
That's it's an incredible thing. And so if we go down, we'll know it's not because people stopped watching us. All the lefties, nobody's watching them. Nobody's advertising on them. Nobody cares. We've only gotten more popular. We've only gotten more powerful, and they can't handle that, and they want to cheat to shut us down. So it's like you're going into the ring with a boxer that you can't beat, and so you poison his drink before the round, or you stab him in the side like in Gladiator. they can't compete with us on an even ground, so they're cheating to win. And it's really
like we've got General Flynn, the former head of defense intelligence, I'm talking about it. We've got it all happening right now, and these idiots think like I don't want to burn these people. I don't want to be an asshole. But I'm like, but you told me to just take money and hide it. I go to the bathroom. I come back like bloop. I'm just like, it's like I got your ass, dude. Like I don't want to burn you down, but you're gonna make me burn you down. You're watching right now, like, dude, I'm burning you down.
You're gonna make me burn you down. That's.
I mean, it's like, whoa, you want a fucking war? You got one. I'm not part of your fucking bullshit, fucking dick sucking New World Order, dude. Like, this is war. This is the real world, dude. This is real people, man. Like I'm real. I'm right here. You understand? I'm not here playing down to you, and I'm here to be a pussy. You fucking raping the ass. No, dude. You fuck me. You get a fucking war. You understand? No, Alex Jones, like a fucking rhinoceros, is coming. You got it? So that's where you are. And now the rhinoceros is coming. So play your fucking games, gaslight me all day. You get war. You get war and war and war and war and war and war, a little more on top of the war. In closing, let's go to some more spaces, people. Let's do it, because we can be shut down tomorrow. Oh, they'll have their big victory. It'll be all over Bloomberg and AP. Alex Jones's thing shut down. Whatever bullshit story they have. Fuck you.
That'll be our victory. But
fuck you. I'm telling you, like, war. You want war, you got war. Do it.
Let's go to Liz in the spaces. Liz, you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you got to say. And if you're still there, go ahead.
Hi, how are you guys doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Liz, we hear you.
Okay, Alex, we need you to stay strong. No more crying. You are in very good company. We have an amazing...
Well, hold on. My crying was real. It's a tears of joy and pain. But so it's real. It wasn't a fake thing when I did that. So I can't help it.
I know. But you're in good company, because there are a lot of people in this chat that have been persecuted, harassed, threatened, intimidated the same way that you have been. I know that they have been messing with you for years. I know that demon piece of shit, James Alefantis, has threatened you. He did the same thing to me. And I just want to let you know that with these monsters, these demons, these elites who are involved in the rape, torture, and trafficking of children, we cannot bend a knee to them. We need to stand strong. And if anything, we need to double down on them. Because here's the thing. You expose the elite pedophile rings. You expose the trafficking that's going on via the Biden administration at the border. Mike Smith exposed it, and out of shadows, Pizzagate. General Flynn is exposing this. We have a whole board with America's Future that is dedicated to exposing sex trafficking. And I hyper-focus on the elite, like Jeffrey Epstein, right? That is the one secret that not only do they not want to get out, they know that when President Trump gets back into office, he's going to finish the job that he started and continue to not only combat child sex trafficking.
No, but I get you. But I'm not insecure about the fact that I emotionally have tears. This is such an epic moment. But I totally agree with you. And that's what I'm trying to say to people, is that this is so epic. I've literally had to sleep here. And today I said, watch. When I did that earlier show today, they're going to send people to shut us down. And they call, they go, yeah, we've been ordered to shut the building down, but we're not going to follow the law. It doesn't say that. There's no court order. Because I'm going to call the police and say, where's the court order to shut this down? But when they shut it down, folks, it's not a defeat.
Here's the thing,
we didn't ask for this, and we didn't do this.
Here's the thing,
it is a defeat of them.
Whatever happens, you stand strong, number one. Number two, if they do shut you down, it's just going to help you. It's going to give you the martyr status that they've been
No, but here's the thing. I get that, but I have to steadfastly. I'm not Machiavelli. I don't do that. I have a crew, and I get that. I agree with you. My point is, I can't be them and like, oh God, I'm going to play this victim now. Right. I'm trying to do this because I don't play games. But yes, you're absolutely right. I hear you. The next person on next. Thank you so much.
Okay, Alex.
All right, let's go to Jake Chansley. Jake, the Q Shaman Chansley. Go ahead and unmute yourself and share what you got to say if you are still with us. I know you've had your hand up for some time.
I don't play games.
I am. Well,
wow,
thank
Jake
you.
Chansley. We've had some epic moments on this show before.
Yeah, you've been thrown in prison for nothing. Yeah, what's up, brother?
Hey, God bless you guys, and keep staying strong, man. No weapon forged against you shall prosper, so saith the Lord. Now, I want to throw something out there as far as an idea of what we can do. Every man, woman, and child in this country that is against tyranny. I think I talked to you, Alex, about this on the interview that we did, but I will just say it one more time. Each and every single capital in the United States, like Washington, D.C., is built on electromagnetic ley lines. And these ley lines have certain levels of spiritual power over our thoughts and our emotions. And that's why they build these capitals on these ley lines, and they try to pass law that affect our behavior, our thoughts, and our emotions. So I'm proposing, like what I do every single Saturday, here in Phoenix, is going down to our state and local capitals, assembling on the ley lines for prayer and meditation, so that when these people...
So, Jake, I know that you are. We've had you on. People should follow you. It's great. I know it's all true. Lines, all that. What is your view on what's currently happening with the assault on Trump, the assault on America, the New World Order? We get the ley line stuff. Give us your take on that.
Well, my take, Alex, is that it's spiritual warfare. They're attempting to demoralize humanity. And the whole thing about demoralization is getting people to think and believe that resistance is futile, the war is already lost, and there's no point in fighting, when nothing could be further from the truth. This is a defensive tactic. Censorship is defensive. Trying to shut you down is defensive because they know your voice is potent. Trying to throw Trump in prison is a defensive measure because they know Trump has the base that will basically get rid of their New World Order. And
he's pro-human. Trump ain't perfect, but he ain't against people. He fucked cheeseburgers and football games as prosperity. They are scared of him.
Well, and they need America to go down because we have a constitution. We have a Bill of Rights. You cannot take...
We're an example they've got to destroy.
Right. And you can't take a dictatorship and bring it into a free country, which is what they're trying to do, which is why this is going to fail. So we cannot be demoralized. We must assemble peacefully and not comply. That's the main thing. Non-compliance with tyranny is the ultimate statement of freedom. It is the ultimate rebellion. So reclaim our mind. That is the goal here. The mind.
No, I agree. So let me ask you this. They're still trying with J6 police to say it was worse than Pearl Harbor and 9/11, which is ridiculous. No one's buying that. Where do you think that's going?
Oh, they're going to double down, just like they're trying to double down with this whole felon thing with Trump. But remember, our founders were considered felons. I don't think they actually read the founding documents or know American history. And the rebellious free spirit of the average American is so strong. That's why they're trying to demoralize us. So this whole J6 narrative is fell completely on its face, especially when Tucker Carlson aired that footage of me being escorted around the Capitol, because they made me the face. They tried to paint me as some wild-eyed lunatic.
And they invited you in, and you said, everybody be peaceful and don't be violent. Exactly. It blew up their face. Jacob Chansley, thank you so much. How do people follow you?
They can follow me at America Shaman. That's America Shaman here on X, or they can go to my website, ForbiddenTruthAcademy.com. That's ForbiddenTruthAcademy.com.
You guys got any questions for him? Are we going to the next person? Next person. All right, go to the next person. Hey, I'm going to go home tonight. I'm not going to stay here like last night. I couldn't sleep good on that couch. Got a big crick in my back. If they shut us down, we're here. This is the last show. I'm so glad we're here celebrating the history of InfoWars. 30 years on air. And it's the enemy God's going to turn towards good.
You'll be here tomorrow.
I think so?
I believe it, yeah. God's going to give you at least another day, for sure.
Okay. I hope you're right.
I think I'll tell you what, if Sunday Night Live is the last show to air on InfoWars, it's going to be a travesty. So Alex, you should be hosting the show tomorrow night.
I have no doubt. 4 hours. I have no doubt they will.
I mean, guys, am I making it up? They were like, we're going to shut the doors down. So I'm not leaving. They backed off.
No, it's definitely the final.
Because we're here, they don't want to have a conversation.
I do believe it's the final countdown, but I think you'll get tomorrow. You'll get tomorrow.
All right, folks, let's go to Raw's Alerts. You've had your hand raised for some time. Go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you have to say.
Hey, Alex, this is Raw's Alerts. I've been a fan for your show for quite some time. I've seen that you reported on our report.
Well, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's quite concerning to hear this news, and I hope everything is going to go well, and this isn't the last show. So I just want to send a lot of thoughts to you guys. So thank you for.
Well, I don't want to be a dick. I want to explain. I had to literally confront people and literally stop the shutdown. So I want to get I'm going to run around like a fucking goblin around here, like being really aggressive. People like bitching, like, oh, why are you mad? We're shutting you down, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm calling. So I've had to like literally gobbling around the office to keep this place going. So I'm telling you, this is probably the last show, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was about it. So thank you guys for doing this. So, yeah, thank you.
Any other points you got, brother? I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
No, you're good. You're good. That's about it.
Well, I know he'll be reporting on it if they shut it down tonight. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be clear with people, like, folks, on my soul, I'm not a drama queen, okay? I don't sit here and tell you we're on our death's doorstep without it happening. Like, we are literally under attack, folks. So, Owen?
Well, I think if they do come and padlock the doors tonight, it'll just be the biggest news story in a crazy week. I think there's going to be a bit of a teeter-totter. When we sign off, Trump is going to blow the lid off of the UFC event tonight. That's going to be insane. The whole arena is going to go crazy. 30,000 screaming people. And then I think after that, the next big thing, then they'll probably padlock. That's kind of how I feel the shift is going to happen.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I love the crew, and I don't just say that. Like, I think of the crew as like me. Like, that's my arm. It's like, well, this guy. I love this guy. I love this girl.
Like decommissioning the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's mine. That's mine.
But they get the Millennium Falcon back eventually, Alex.
I'm so pissed off. I'm trying to cry. It's a fake thing, man. I'm so sick of these people. All we're trying to do is save America, and they're fucking us over and over again. And it's just so sick. It's sick. It's sick. And I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave because it's going to be over, folks. And I'll come back bigger than ever, but it's like my baby, and I'm watching them rape it because they're fucking assholes. You're fucking pussies, man. So I'm going to release the fucking video. I'm going to release the fucking audio on you. I'll get you, motherfucker. You better fucking be sorry about that. Go ahead.
I don't know how you follow that.
I'm just telling you, man, I am not taking it lying down. I don't know how to do it. I'm not built to suck your dick. I'm not built to I'm built for war, motherfucker. And I will not fucking bow to you. I will God damn you fucking assholes, man. Oh, fucking son of a bitches. Fucking assholes. Who's up next?
All right, folks, let's go to Dan Ball. Dan Ball, go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you got to say.
Oh my God.
Alex, Dan Ball from One America News. Brother, I hear you. I'm just as fucking pissed off about what's happening to this country and what these motherfuckers are doing too. I don't know if you know our story.
Fuck them! Fuck you! I'll never give up, motherfuckers! Sorry, go ahead. Tell us what you want to say.
No. Alex, hey, brother. I'm not there because they haven't locked our fucking doors yet, but we're close to it. You know what's been happening to us. We had those.
You've been fucked over. They're so scared of you. Fuck them.
Yep.
Fuck you, New World Order. Fuck you. To me, it's like the thing. I'm living like with fucking Kurt Russell and the fucking thing where the fucking Antarctica, the fucking aliens taking over. I'm just fucking trying to win, man.
Well, you're trying to save the country, bro. That's the way I feel. You know, I did local fucking news for 30 years. I was a puppet. I got it in at OAN 4 years ago because I had an epiphany. I literally, on election night especially, it really hit me, brother. I was sitting next to my fiance, and the numbers started changing. I literally said, Trump's going to lose. Biden needs to win. The country, the American people need to see how fucked up this evil movement is, this radical, progressive, liberal agenda, and the New World Order, the fucking Great Reset, all of it together. It's good versus evil. It really is. And
we saw the numbers in Michigan and Pennsylvania, like bloop, right up, like bloop.
Yeah. No, and I had this epiphany, and I think it was God talking to me. And he said, he's going to lose. Americans need to see how evil this is. And I think they're seeing it with what they did to Trump this week, what they're doing shutting you down. But whoever earlier was talking about how the left-wing media is dying on the vine, it is. They're fucking shutting down. People are tuning up. They're tuning into shows like yours, like OAN, independent journalists like Nick Sorter. They're doing that. They're coming around. We just got to keep the fucking pressure on because this is a battle of good and evil. I truly, 100% in my heart of hearts, believe that's what it is. I mean, look at all these sickos that are fucking pedophiles. What else can it be? They're stealing the children. They're hurting the children. The border's wide fucking open, and they're letting millions of kids getting fucking kidnapped and trafficked. Of course, this is good versus evil. It's not left, right, Republican, Democrat. So if there's people down in this space, you got thousands on here, and I see some names I recognize that are liberals. We're trying to help you too, you fuckers. We're trying to save the country. If the country,
but that's the thing, is there a bunch of pussies that serve Satan that think it's cute to be a Satanist, think it's cute to kiss the devil's ass. You're totally right.
They do. They do. Like, okay, look, it's Pride Month today. Listen. How about we have some fucking pride in the country? How about some pride in the country instead of kissing ass and sucking everybody's dick about this, that, and the other thing and separating each other? What Alex has been trying to do, whether he's been right or wrong, and me too, whether I'm right or wrong on my show, what we're trying to do, we are patriots. We're trying to fucking help everyone. That includes people that we don't agree with. We would never want CNN or MSNBC or these cocksuckers shut down, even though they lie to you every fucking day, because that's called freedom of speech and freedom of the press. That's what we're here for. And we're also here to save the family unit, to save this country, to save what, you know, I fucking served in the Air Force and I've been doing television news for 32 fucking years. And I thought I was doing the right thing serving my community. And then a few years ago, I woke up, thanks to Trump, showing us. A lot of people, I think, woke up thanks to him. And now the movement is so big. And Alex, you've been out there spitting truth for decades. And look, I haven't always agreed with you on everything, but brother, I love the passion. I love that you have had the balls to fucking stand up to this fucking machine that wants to shut us all down. So well,
that's the bottom line, brother. I ain't fucking bound to this machine, and I fucking hate it. And I'm in total fucking war against them. God bless you. God bless you, brother. Who's up next?
All right. Next up, let's go to Terrible. Terrible, go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you have to say. If you're still with us.
Hi guys, Alex. I just want to say you can't give up. We need you in this fight, but just so you know, we are here fighting. You know, for you, no matter what happens. We're
no matter what happens to us, just keep attacking. Just keep going. Don't ever give up.
That's right. That's right. And we've built an army on this platform. I was just curious, where do people find you if they do padlock you and shut you down?
I mean, I don't know. Real Ox Jones on X. I had never even thought about something past this because I would never even give up on this. So I have no plan for the future. Real Alex Jones on X. Follow us there. That's where we're at.
It's pretty crazy to see the full circle we've gone in, where Twitter was the one platform censoring Trump during his presidency and started that whole charade. And now we've gone full circle, done a 180, and it's the only platform allowing us to speak out.
Look, I'm just trying as good as I can. I'm spiritually exhausted because I can feel, my problem is I can feel the evil coming in. I want to be strong to face this. And God's like, you've already done your job, just step aside. So that's why I'm physically ill right now, watching the full satanic takeover. We're just trying as best we can. We love you. We appreciate you. And you're the answer in the future, telling the truth. But that's where we are. Thank you. Who's the next person? All right. I don't want to leave. I'm exhausted. I couldn't even sleep last night. I slept on the couch. I'm not complaining. I'm completely cross-eyed, crazy, exhausted. And I can't, I'm like literally here like watching a family member die, like 30 years on air, 27 years in operation, 15 years in this building. And I'm literally, when I know I leave tonight, they're going to shut us down. Maybe it's tomorrow, the next day. I just want people to know I love you. I believe in you. I believe in humanity. I believe in my grandparents. I believe in my parents. I believe in humanity. I just want to fucking stop these people. They gotta be stopped. We gotta stop them. So, at the end of the day, we're gonna beat these people. I'm trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. These people hate our children. Take more calls. Go ahead. Who's the next person? Because we can't give up now. We have to keep going. We have to stay here. We have to let them shut us down. We have to stand all the way to the end, and we're going to win.
Jones, I think everybody needs a war cry, man. Can you muster a war cry?
It's a big joke.
It's not really, though. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's also inspiring.
My voice will completely go into this, but it's fine. It's my resistance to them. It's a God's transmission. It's a human under attack.
All right, let's go to one more speaker. Let's go to Myron. Myron, what is on your mind?
Hey guys, Myron Gaines from the Fresh Fit Podcast here, man. I just had to come in and show my support. I've been there, man. Demonetized, canceled, all that shit. It's the fucking worst, man. And I'm just here to lend a supporting hand. If you guys need anything from us down in Miami, just give me the word.
Brother, all we ask is you take what we do, and when long after we're gone, just promote it. We are with you. Just all we ask is that we're with you. Just promote what we did long after we're gone. Like cave drawings. People make those cave drawings. They want to be seen by their future because they love people beyond their family. Like, I want to be known. I love humans. I'm just here making cave drawings. So I love you, man. I just want to help you. You want to help me. Just remember me. That's all I'm saying.
No, well, here's the thing, Alex. We're not going to remember you because you're going to keep going, man. Because you started this shit and you're going to fucking end this shit. These people can't stop you. You've been fighting this fight for damn near since I was in diapers. You got to keep going, man. A lot of people started this because of you.
I'm not going to quit. It's just emotional. They're like destroying everything.
They're not going to take this from you. You're a fucking legend, Alex.
I don't care about me. It's that the fact they're coming. The assault is now. The enemy is coming. You understand? It's here. This is it. You understand me? It's not about me. The enemy is coming. We're the canary in the coal mine. Go ahead and finish up. I'm going to finish up.
No, man. I mean, whatever you guys need, you guys need anything from Fresh and Fit, man, you tell me. Well,
then I'll tell you. InfoWars is overrun. Supporting InfoWars store, it's done. We're overtaken. Maybe we fix it. I'll tell you day one it's happened. It's gone. We're overrun. Enemies all over us. My dad said 2 years ago, he's smarter than I am. He said, you're going to be shut down. I'm starting a thing. DrJonesNaturals.com as our sponsor of the next level. We don't even need much money. We've already got emergency stuff backed up. We're going to continue on no matter what happens here. But I need anyone that cares about what we're doing. I can't even believe how epic this is. Like, it's a no-brainer. We have probably 5 million people watching right now. Less than 1% will buy a goddamn tube of toothpaste or or incredible products we've got. Go to DrJonesNaturals.com. I'm not bitching. I'm like, you want a revolution, man? You want victory? You want fucking war against fucking tyrants? You fucking got people that are ready to fight, man. I mean, I'm fucking completely war-driven against these people. I fucking knocked my earpiece out. I am completely... Somebody come find my earpiece, put it in my ear. I am completely war-driven. Okay? I literally love humanity. I fucking love people. I love everybody. Black people, white people, old people, everybody. I literally just want to beat tyrants. I literally love humanity. Thank you. So I'm just saying, it's so fucking simple. DrJonesNaturals.com. Go get these products. Support us with my embattled family. My dad literally saw this happening and said, I'm doing this at 75 years old and ran off and set this company up. So yes, DrJonesNaturals.com. Amazing products right now. There. I'm not going to even plug it. If you're not going to support me, I don't fucking care. But I am in the trenches. I hate Satanists. I hate pedophiles. I hate demonic people. I hate anti-humans. I am totally fucking committed to our species. I am totally fucking committed against Satanists. I hate the New World Order with every ounce of my body. I don't support these people. And all I'm saying is, will you support us in this fight? DrJonesNaturals.com. And that's why I will release all the video. I will release all the shit of these fucking people that fucking think I'm going to bow down to them and suck their fucking dick. It ain't fucking happening. They want a fucking war. They better believe they got one. And I'm sorry for all the cussing, folks, but I am beyond bullshit level.
You're fine,
I'm beyond Mr. fucking nice guy shit. That's all over now. Total war. Total war is what they want. Total war is what they get. So if you support what I'm doing, drjonesnaturals.com to support the tip of the spear and the fight for the human destiny in the future of the world. And I'm done talking about it. And I appreciate you all. You guys can go and take more calls. I'm going to end this right now. And I'm fucking done. I'm done. Okay, I appreciate everybody. You guys closing comments. Go ahead.
Well,
all I was going to say, Alex,
every moment we have here at InfoWars shall not be taken for granted. Every moment that we have is truly in the final moments.
It's a good chance this is our last show.
Now, if this is the final one, then I mean, it's about as epic as you can do. It's about the last dance, stealing the ball, taking it down the court, crossing over your enemy, putting his ass on the floor, and hitting the buzzer beater shot to win the championship. So you have nothing to be ashamed of. This crew has nothing to be ashamed of. This audience has nothing to be ashamed of. We have nothing to be afraid of. We will be victorious.
We carried it out.
That's right. That's it. Mission. I mean, look, the mission is accomplished when either we save the country or they decommission.
But in front of God, we did the
Falcon.
right thing.
Yeah.
It's like the only audience I ever have on is God. I never talk to the audience. I love the audience. I love you guys, but I never talk to the audience. I'm like in front of God every day on air. I have one fucking viewer. It's God. Does that make sense?
Yep. Well, you got
to finish your point. I was interrupted.
No, that's it. That's the point. They can decommission the Millennium Falcon.
It's kind of weird to shut this down because I don't think we're going to be. I think it's over. Folks, 2 days I've had to live here to stop them. I've had to literally convince police and shit not to shut us down. They say you don't have an order. Like, don't do it. Like, this is going on. You guys are here. Like, people don't know. Like, this is. I don't fucking hype you, man. I would never lie to you in a minute. This is going down.
Well, yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi could have battled Darth Vader for 10 million years, and he instead said, go ahead. I'll be more powerful than you can ever imagine.
That's my guilt, though, because
I want to finish off, Alex.
I've decided to let him do it.
Support, man.
But I haven't. I said I'm going to do it. I can't fucking leave. Like this is it, folks. This is the end of 30 years. This is the end of a fucking what we did. These fucking pieces of shit that fucking hate our families just because we're good people.
That's the other thing. It's like, why don't you? Who doesn't want to be free and have prosperity? Who doesn't want energy?
I'm selling fucking ice cones to people in hell. Like, why won't you join us? Why are you scum? Because they're like, we're with the devil. That's why, motherfucker. So finish up, Owen. I can't shut down. We're going another 20 minutes because this is probably the last show ever. I can feel it. You see it. They fucking are ready to come in. This is fucked up, man. This is.
I just want.
We're here right now. This is. Because I could easily shut down right now, Owen. But when you drive away tonight, you're going to wish you said something. What do you want to say about your life and your family and who you are? And then Harrison Smith. And let's just keep going. Because they don't want this. This is the final moments, man.
No, just to finish up, man, you got our support, man.
Well, I guess every day you wake up, you ask yourself, is America worth fighting for? Is freedom worth fighting for? And if your answer is yes, then the rest follows. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's why we do what we do here. That's why the crew's here. That's why you're here.
Yeah, I don't even know if
I mean, we're here at the end, brother. Like, literally, we're the Alamo. They're fucking, like, we're going down.
If I can ask a question, you know,
This is the full communist assault right now. Like, people need to know this is going down right now. This is happening. And we're here in defense of freedom in the whole West, literally sitting there, and people are like, oh, these are people on a fucking error. No, man, this ain't a fucking lie, man. It's going down right now. Everything we're trying to do, our children, their whole future. Harrison, what's it been like? What is your vision of freedom? Because there's millions watching right now, and we're going to go out here, and if it's today or tomorrow, we're going down. They're shutting it down. What do we say? Or maybe a miracle happens. I hope that happens, but no. They fucking got the deep state, the CIA, the FBI is coming. What do we say before we're in prison, before we're fucking, they'll beat our fucking ass, man. They're going to fucking take me in there and kick the shit out of me. I'm ready to do it. I don't care. I made this fucking deal with God 30 years ago. I'm asking you, what do you want to say to people going out, man? We may be back tomorrow. Hope we are. But, like, we only have surety right now. What do we want to say to our enemies right now before we're gone? Before we're shut up? Before we're put in the fucking dirt?
I'd say they don't realize they gave us all opportunities to live up to God's standard. They have that if you knew that this is how it was going to end 30 years ago, you would have done exactly the same thing. If I knew that I would this company would be shut down and I wouldn't get a job in media, I'd do exactly the same thing, because every single day from the audience, I mean, it's all about the audience. Every call I get, every comment, that's what makes it all worth it. And it's impossible to describe.